Gentlemen, this is how we invade Britain.
Tell the General to order 1,000 rubber dinghy boats on Amazon next day delivery. This is how we invade the British and win the war.
Sir, the Germans are coming! Hold your fire, men. Those are doctors and engineers. Why aren't they shooting at us? The bloody fools must think we are doctors and engineers. The plan worked. Oh!
Good morning. A little brevity to start off the day. I hope everybody's having a good one. Good morning from Scotland. Scotland's a great place. Kind of applicable to the image that I was showing too. Today's a good day, guys. I'm pretty stoked. So one of my investments is up 125% in after hours, which I don't hate. Just hit 100,000 followers on X, which is I also do not hate. I got up a little late and then I talked to my daughter for a while, so my bookmarks are not all together. So we're going to kind of just run down the timeline. And as you guys know, I definitely talk about my own thoughts on geopolitical and world views and what's going on in America and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. So we'll have to sift through some of that to get to the economic stuff that we're looking to talk about. I'll try and do that as quickly as possible. I do promise. Kamawa, ready for today's show? Yes, I need to actually upgrade my new glasses. I love my new glasses. They're kind of like the old glasses. But I do have a problem with the field of view. You have to be very, very precise, and so I can't always read things really well. So I'm going to have to increase the size a little bit here. But good morning to PB, Gavin, Kirby, Oak, Mike, Manny247, all the loyal people that are here all the time. Angel DDS, Sats Unleashed, Dennis Newber, Todd, all you guys, good morning. Appreciate you very much for your patronage. We got a lot to talk about today. We've got Hamas leaders getting slaughtered in Qatar and talks of Israel actually notifying the President of the United States ahead of the attack. And then also, not just him, but Qatar themselves. Did that really happen? We've got Nepal, their government collapsing. I don't know if that's still what's happening. Let's just take a look here. We'll see if things are getting better or worse. But essentially, I mean, their parliament building has been burned down. Lots of crazy shit happening. Yeah, ASST was up 125%. It's actually only up 118 now. It's kind of waffling all over the place. There could be a massive short squeeze on that, but I do believe there's risk too in regard to the contract of the merger. We should probably talk about that at some point as well. I'll let you guys know what I'm doing at 8:30, right when the bell opens. And again, just some of the pictures here, you can see a finance minister who is stripped naked, who's got something on his head, I don't know why, running through a river as people attack him. They set one of the former prime minister's wives on fire. They burned down the parliament building. They're taking down the hammer and sickle flag. Again, this was a communist, very corrupt communist regime that I won't say they're toppled because I don't know if they have been toppled, but it looks like the military is probably working with them. This is their parliament building in Nepal. This looks like a set of a movie. So, lots going on. Metaplanet, yeah, dude, there's so much in the investment world going on too. I mean, look at this. This is historic, and I think we're seeing more of this around the world. But Metaplanet, let's talk about Metaplanet real quick. So again, Bitcoin treasuries, yesterday I called the bounce. This volume candle is the highest volume candle ever in the history of Metaplanet. Happened yesterday, last night in Japan. I do have to redo some stuff here, though, because they had a hell of a wick down, which happens. So they closed their gap, and then they went down just a little bit further. So this is the last daily gap. Somebody argued about whether or not there was one right over here. Nobody gives a shit. It's over. It's time to go up. Now, I will say this. So I'm going to readjust my targets lower here because, again, we've got volumes here, right? So this is a 99% move just to get up here to these peak volumes. That's really the last major resistance area. Then you've got the DOC 618, which is the golden retracement zone, which is a normal spot for something to take a break. Doesn't always have to be. Look at Palantir and others. Now, I do want to say this. People complain about the fact that this thing dropped so much, right? It went down over 70%, so almost 71% in a very short period of time. Just a reminder that in 6 weeks, it went up 500%. So if something goes up 500% in 6 weeks, it kind of makes sense that it can be volatile to the downside too, right? Mine's not cutting out as well. What is yours? Yeah, stream is cutting a lot for me too. Huh. Can you guys try and refresh? I shouldn't have a problem on my end, I don't believe. But can you guys refresh? I want to make sure that I'm good. My memory looks good. I don't have a VPN running that I can tell. So I should be good. Yeah, miners did well yesterday. I want to talk about this. So I mentioned this for anybody who's been around the channel for a while. You know this, right? When the multipliers of the underlying asset, when they go up a lot in a down market where the underlying asset, let's say like Bitcoin, is consolidating, right? Bitcoin was at like 110 at one point yesterday. Ethereum has been consolidating for a couple of weeks. I noticed Tom Lee liked my post about Ethereum not dropping too much and getting ready to bounce here soon, along with Solana and Solana taking the lead. He liked that. I think that's probably a good thing. So again, when you get that outperformance after massive drops that look like they're bottoming, then it's a really good sign of a turnaround. And seeing peak volumes, the best volume on MetaPlanet it's ever seen, is a really good sign of a turnaround. Seeing some of the best volumes you've seen on the Smarter Web Company after the Smarter Web Company goes up how much? How much? I told you guys, I literally called the fucking bottom on this. I did the day of. I said we dropped over 33% in a day. That was it. And we've dropped a little bit from our peak here, but we're up 91% from that day just last week. And again, 115, almost 116% were before we started to hit some resistance here with peak volume over here. I could see us continuing that trip. Now, today, tomorrow, and Friday, we do have economic data that can disrupt all of this, but I don't think it will. I think we're actually pumping. I think September is pumping into the Fed rate cut. Now, that might mean after the Fed rate cut, we take a breather, but the pain trade, here's what I think the pain trade would be, because again, AAII, bearish, bullish sentiment, guys, the pain trade for that is that we just keep going up because there's more bears than bulls right now. So I think that's probably the pain trade and what we're going to see. We'll see if that ends up happening. Again, we got a lot to talk about, but 16% up day in Japan off the highest volumes ever for MetaPlanet. Maybe now I can start to ignore people bitching about MetaPlanet and all these other investments, because soon you won't have a reason to. But yeah, so Nepal looking crazy. I mean, look at these guys. They got real guns, man. Semi-automatic weapons. They're burning people's houses down that are part of the Communist Party. It's a big deal. And there's a speech, guys. There is a speech. It's a little frightening. I want to actually segue to this real quick. It's Sai Nepal is what it's under. But the speech, I think that just means like, I don't know, remember if it means good tidings or whatever it means in Nepalese. But let me pull it up here real quick and see if I can find him. There is a speech that is insane. Yeah, see, look at all this chaos from yesterday. Let me try speech. Let me try speech. Speech. It is a kid. I can't say a kid, but a young adult. It is a young adult from 6 months ago. It's scary, actually. His speech is inspired. It's inspired by the former king. And it's scary listening to this speech because it sounds like he's invoking Hitler. But when you understand what's been happening in Nepal and you understand what he's saying and listen to the actual words, you can understand why he's saying it. But his presence is frightening. And 6 months later after this speech, this is like a commencement speech. I want to say it like a school. You guys correct me if I'm wrong here. But these guys shut down social media, and then their parliament got burned down after youth rose up. I think this guy's speech is part of it. Listen to this real quickly. You got to hear it. This is fucking crazy.
The fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping here.
One sec. I I do want to show this to you. Jai Nepal speech, but the audio isn't tracking right, and I don't want to play shitty audio. Let me see here. 5 months ago, 405,000 views. This thing went super fucking viral. Here, one sec. We'll listen to it.
Today I stand here with the dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping away. Rise and shines, futures of this upcoming imperial empire. I, Avishkar Raut, the head boy of this everlasting imperial institute, Holy Bell English Secondary School, welcomes you with open arms to our 24th annual program. I put myself before you this moment to shed light within your consciousness by piercing the dark nimbus that circles above you. I am present here today to immortalize a monumental change in the course of history. Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth, nurtured us. But what did it ask in return? Just our honesty, our hard work, our contribution. But what are we doing? We are bounded by the chains of unemployment, fleeing abroad in search of opportunities. We are trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption has woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures.
Wow.
Youth, rise! We are the torch bearers of change. If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not build this nation, who will? We are the fire that will burn away the darkness. We are the storm that will sweep away injustice and bring prosperity.
This is crazy.
Our ancestors shed their blood to give us this nation. We cannot sell it. We cannot lose it. We are the fire. We will burn every despair away. Now we must decide. Will we drown in the darkness of despair or rise as the sun of hope? Today I stand here.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy, this is like a beautiful and frightening speech all at the same time. I think he's probably one of the reasons that we see Nepal collapsing. It was a great speech, and you can tell he's passionate about what he believes and what's happened to his country. Again, extreme levels of poverty, communist regime, kind of a pseudo run by China, and just incredibly corrupt. All these rich, powerful kids flaunting their wealth. Basically the people that work for the government. It's the fourth turning. Yeah, dude. Smells shock. It's the fourth turning. This is what happens. Anybody who's a student of history understands that the world is going through an amazing amount of change right now. And that change will be violent. It will be violent in some places. It will be beautiful in others. It will be mostly painful across the world. But there's a lot of change coming. And I think hopefully for Nepal, it's going to be a lot better. I've got friends that I've known in my life from Nepal, and I hope the country's turning into what they want to see. All right, let me see here. I've been watching these events in Nepal. Crazy shit. Yes, they are. Mike, it's going to start happening at other places. It's going to start happening everywhere. Not everywhere, but a lot of places. All right, I didn't get a chance to bookmark. Like I said, I spent time with my daughter this morning and I woke up late. So we're going to kind of roll through the timeline here, and I'll try and skip the stuff that's too depressing. Tesla China's Model Y sold out in Q3. The estimated delivery date for the vehicle is now November. I think that is amazing. It's another sign that Tesla is doing all the right stuff. We also have asset entities, otherwise affectionately known as ass and titties, doing quite well this morning. It's actually up a little bit more from this. And again, we will talk about what I'm going to do with that at the bell. I'm not giving any hints ahead of time. I'm keeping everybody here for as long as I can. Mrs. Lawfi says, so young and passionate, exudes confidence for someone being so young. I think he's an old soul, and he sees what is happening to a country he loves. It's normal in a fourth turning for nationalism to rise up too. So I think you're seeing a lot of that. Hopefully the nationalism doesn't turn into an opposing evil to the woke crazy shit that we saw over the last, decade, because it can go in the pendulum can swing in the other direction too. And I hope to God it doesn't. I also wanted to point this out again, just real quickly here, just lawlessness. This is a FedEx truck in Memphis getting looted while it was trying to drive away. If we don't have societies that are safe and that have rules of law, they can't prosper. And I say this not against the black community, but for it. We need safety. There are lots of good people in the black community, probably most of them older and with kids, right? But there's the young punks who don't give a shit, and they will rape and pillage because that's all they've been taught. They listen to ghetto-ass music talking about robbing and shooting other people that look like them or just random white people. And again, this isn't a popular thing to say. I'm not supposed to be talking about any of this. That's just the unwritten rule, right? But I can tell you this. I grew up in a black community when I was younger. In third grade, I lived in Mobile, Alabama. My uncle was the mayor there for a period of time. And I went to a school that was like 85% black, and I got the shit beat out of me on the daily because of the color of my skin. So when people talk about racism, it means a lot to me. I understand it probably to a greater degree than most people, and you can have racism in all directions. And here's the thing, violence will only create more of it. And when you have blacks murdering whites at some of the highest rates in history, and you have blacks murdering young women just for the fuck of it, just stabbing them to death, and then a bunch of black people sitting around that woman and not helping her, it's only going to get worse. And it's going to get worse in all directions. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't want it to be that way, but it is. All right, to happier places. Again, we're all over the map today, guys. We're going to talk about racism. We're going to talk about everything. People overthrowing regimes. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin and Michael Saylor calling out Vanguard for being the number one shareholder in the company, but not allowing its customers to buy Bitcoin. There's some hypocrisy there. Mortgage rates dropped today. We actually saw a pretty decent drop. We saw from 6.64 to 6.49. Tom Lee talked about this the other day, but I want to make sure that you guys understand this. There is a 140 bip disparity from what the average run rate is for mortgages. And we could see that pull mortgage rates down even more. On top of the Fed dropping 4 to 5 25 bip cuts. So we could see 4 to 3% by the beginning of next year. I don't think people understand that, but I think they will. I think they will understand that soon enough. So we'll see how things go, guys. But I do think that if you're smart, you'll pay attention to the fact that mortgages are getting ready to open up en masse. And I've said this a bunch of times, but I want to reiterate it again because I don't think a lot of people seem to understand this. Everybody's like, oh no, if rates come down, houses will become even more expensive because the price will go up. That is bullshit. I don't know who told you that, but they're fucking stupid. Stop listening to them. They don't know what they're talking about, or they haven't put enough thought into it. Because what will actually happen when almost 85... Oh, PPI is already out? No, I don't think so. Let me check, though. But when almost 85% of mortgages, PPI comes out 7:30. We got about 22 minutes. When 84% of mortgages are existing home sales, and that market has been frozen for about 4 years, almost 4 years, because the Fed raised rates at the most aggressive rate in history, and you had a bunch of people with 2, 3, 4% interest rates on their homes that are like, fuck it, I ain't moving, not to get a house that's 7 or 8 fucking percent, especially if your credit isn't pristine. Who's going to pay 8% on a fucking mortgage when their existing one's 2.75? No one. So what did you have? Artificial scarcity. You had houses become incredibly scarce because 84% of the market that normally would be up and available is gone. What happens when 84% of the fucking supply disappears? Now, I don't know how many of you guys are supply-demand people who understand the concept, but when 84% of the supply disappears, the fucking prices go up. You know when they really go up? when the Fed prints money at the most aggressive rate in history after the pandemic and does 40% of the money supply that's ever fucking existed and freezes up the housing market. That creates artificial scarcity. It creates higher prices. We're going to get the opposite of that. We're going to get the existing home market opening up immensely. And when it does that, with rates dropping, every motherfucker on the planet, not the meta planet, but the planet, is going to try and sell their fucking house because they realize that the window is open, and if they want to get the amount that they want to get, they need to fucking do it right now. So understand what's actually happening, not bullshit narratives that people put out. And sorry I cuss so much. Pretty much given up on stopping, and nobody seems to really comment about it anymore. So we're just going to let it go. Ask price on MetaPlanet is up 20% currently. Cool. Gnome, Jesse, can the gaps on MetaPlanet above price pull to the ups? Yes, they will. I talked about this yesterday in a post. We'll go over that in a second. Remember all the gaps? All the gaps are gone to the downside now, guys. And then we bounce, and I said it over here. I said, this is it, guys. We closed the gap. It was right over here. We shot down underneath of it a little bit yesterday, but that's cool. That can happen. Same thing happened in the Japanese market. But now what are we looking at? Now we're looking at closing this gap, closing this gap, closing this gap, closing this gap. This technically doesn't count as a gap because it wicked up there. So yeah, we got gaps, guys, and these gaps are pretty handy. They were handy when I was telling people about them with Robinhood, when Robinhood was at its lows a couple of years ago, before I made 1,800%. They were handy with Palantir when it was in the 7s, and I was telling people to buy it. They were handy with Meta when Meta was in the 80s, 90s. They were handy with Tesla when Tesla was around $100 a share, and then later $150 at its lows. They've been handy a lot in my life, and I've made a lot of money off of them. Damn it, Jesse, stop fucking cussing. I will fucking try. And yeah, this not kid friendly, guys. I maybe someday, but let's just be real. I'm almost 50. In case you can't tell, I act like a child, but I'm almost 50 years old. So the chance of me stopping is like non-existent. Let's just be real. It's not going to happen. But yeah, so MetaPlanet, is it going up? Yeah. Is it going up violently? Hells yeah. It's going up violently. Not as violent as the people of Nepal right now. Note, I'm not saying to buy this right now. These are crazy prices. That was me talking about ASST, which is now only up 100%, 94% in pre-market. I got to say, guys, make sure you understand what you own. All in Summit was great. I have not watched it yet, at least not all of it, and I'm going to work on that today. Let's keep going, though. So here's some highlights from it. We've got Doge, Optimus, Starlink smartphones, Grokpedia, Evolving with AI, Why the West is Imploding, Understanding the Universe, Colonizing Mars, and more. So there's just a ton of topics in here. I need to go through all of it. I didn't get a chance to watch it yesterday. Good morning from Taiwan. Good morning, JT. Love you, bro. Justine Brooke Murray, the media was more outraged over a white girl in jeans commercial than a white girl murdered over her race. Remember, the guy walked away saying, I got that white girl. So you can be a liberal, cuss as much as you want. Thanks, Helga. You share your brain for free. I appreciate you. Thank you, sweetie. But again, that's racism, right? He said, I got that white girl. He just stabbed this bitch out of nowhere. This girl who was a survivor of the Ukraine war, who was working at a pizza place, just trying to go home. If I saw a picture and somebody said, oh, it could be AI. Yeah, it could be AI. But it showed her in her bedroom and it said, Black Lives Matter. She was the definition of the West, right? Of the woke left. She was the definition of that. Whether she believed all the beliefs, I don't know. But she was Ukrainian. The left loves Ukraine. And she supported Black Lives Matter, if that image is to be believed. And again, she was doing nothing. She was doing nothing. And they murdered her. He murdered her. Well, and the people sitting around who literally walked the fuck off, knowing she had just been stabbed 3 or 4 times. Or I'm sorry, 7 times, however many times he fucking did it. If you've watched the whole video, It is utterly disgusting watching this poor fucking girl cry while she knows she's dying. Put yourself in that shoes. Even better, put your daughter in those shoes. Put your son, put your wife, put your loved ones in those shoes and think about them dying alone because of the color of their skin while nobody helps them. Sorry, you're getting some fun stuff today, guys. So, let's look at U.S. murder rate by race. Let's see who's murdering who. Well, the black people seem to win here, right? Asians are the lowest. Whites are the second lowest. Natives are higher. Blacks are at the top of the list. Congratulations, guys. If you're black, you should be appalled by this. Now, it got better. It got a little bit better around 2014, 15, but then it starts going up again. Now it's up again, 22 murders per 1,000. Asian is 1.7. Black is 22. Then it got a little bit better. Then it got worse again. Fuck, it's up to 30 now. 31, 32. So the peak over here is 32 around 2022. And now it's just a hair better. Why is this okay? Why is this okay? You know what needs to happen? Every motherfucker doing this, put them to death. Put them to death. Make an example out of them. Make black communities safe again. Not just so white people don't have to worry about getting murdered, but so blacks don't too. Because the number one person murdered is another black person. By a black person. And if you're in a black community, why would you be okay with this? Hey, you know what, Carlos? You're never going to comment on this again. So, goodbye. If I could block you from my channel completely, I would. You get all of me, motherfucker. Or you get none of it at all. So go suck a dick. All right. I won't go over this. Keep going here. Tesla's new Megapack factory in Houston will be their most capable yet, with an annual production of 50 gigawatt hours, 25% more than their other two Megapack factories. Once fully ramped, three mega factories will produce a combined 130 gigawatt hours of battery energy storage a year, enough to power 50 million homes. So when the current Department of Energy says, oh, hey guys, solar's so dumb. And don't get me wrong, I actually think that wind is kind of dumb. And I say that as somebody who lives in the Midwest, who actually has like an area where wind is probably more applicable because of the jet stream and the where I am. But I think wind is a joke. It's got too many moving parts and the carbon fiber and all that stuff not being recyclable. It's just kind of stupid. And there's some companies around here that greatly benefit from that, okay? But solar gets better all the time. And China's producing it on the cheap. We should be using it. I don't know. Maybe we're not using it. Maybe there's something bigger than what I can see, and we're not doing it so that we can crush their economy even more, because solar production is a big part, and they're having to dump those things for cheap, and they're losing tons of money on top of everything else. Again, I think their economy is falling apart. But we should be using it. It's a cheap form of energy. And when you have enough mega packs to power 50 million homes, I think the Department of Energy sounds like a fucking idiot. And I listened to him on the All In podcast. Did not understand it at all. Yeah. So again, guys, I'm just going to tell you what I think. And sometimes that's going to be about investing, and sometimes it's going to be other stuff. I don't care if you're a paying subscriber. If you shit on me, you're gone, because I don't have time. I don't have time to be around people that are negative. And I might sound negative, but I'm not, okay? I'm pointing out something called facts. The facts can be negative. And you might not like the facts, and they might make you feel uncomfortable. You might want to ignore them. You might want to only talk about markets. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. And sometimes there's more important things than making money. And if you don't like that, fuck off. Sorry, you're getting an extra rare version of me today. Poland's PM, Donald Tusk, this is a weird combination of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It always gets me. Announced that Polish airspace was violated 19 times last night. The first violation took place at 11:30 at night, the last one at 6:30 in the morning. Russia is penetrating Polish airspace in order to be able to try and hit Ukraine. And if this is right, I haven't confirmed this yet. If you guys can chat, could tell me. It says PM Tusk also announced that Poland just invoked NATO Article 4. That is a big deal if that is true. So you guys let me know if that's true. Again, we talked about Metaplanet, highest volume in history. I don't know. I think I don't know what Putin is shooting for right now. And if you live in Russia, I love Russian people. I don't like Vladimir Putin. I think he's bad for your country. I don't even know if I like Zelensky. I think he might be bad for his country too. But here's all I can say. I don't like war, and I hope it comes to an end. There's thousands of people dying like on the daily, or I should say at least a week in Ukraine. I don't know what the exact numbers. I used to follow it all the time, but you can only watch bombs, little tiny drone bombs getting dropped on people and watching them blow apart so many fucking times before it really gets old. So I don't follow it anymore. Teresa Stokes, this is the stupid judge, not a judge, lesbian woman who seems to have a conflict of interest that allowed Irina Zarutska, our Ukrainian friend, to die and get brutally murdered. She let that fucker out that had been in there 14 times. And her lesbian wife seems to have a business that benefits from her letting people out and them going to rehab. So I don't know the validity of all this, and I'm not prosecuting it, but I am saying that it needs to have closer inspection, right? If you haven't passed the bar and you're letting murderers out, people that are horrible people that do the kind of things that we saw over the last week, I don't know, maybe you should be prosecuted. Especially if you have a conflict of interest. Maybe you should be responsible for that young girl's death if you did that so that you could enrich yourself. Every FU time, 815 watching, 100 likes. What's wrong with you people? Please tell me. If you guys could hit the like, that's greatly appreciated. JT, I just realized that some of these judges don't need a law. It's insane, dude. It's insane. You should have to have a law background, right? Besant, makeup cuts are needed because the Fed has been dependent on faulty data. Remember how Trump kept saying that we needed to lower rates sooner and that Powell was behind the curve? Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts?
If the Fed says they're data dependent and the data has been atrocious, then it seems like there's probably some makeup cuts in order here, or the size of...
Besant is doing what Trump has taught him. He is moving the Overton window. And I guess he was cussing out another person. He's threatening to punch him in the face and take him outside. I don't know. I kind of like him. He's the toughest gay man I've ever seen. Also, the highest ranked in government gay man under Trump. Isn't that interesting? I thought he was going to abolish all gay people and put them in prison. But evidently, he's just promoting them and giving them high-ranking jobs that will save our economy. Cool stuff.
This month's cut needs to be recalibrated. And sure, it could be fixed. Anything can be fixed. You just have to first, we had to establish that it was broken, which President Trump did. Now we have to go about fixing it. And it wasn't working well before. Kind of this lazy notion that they had dropped down to these low response rates, 30, 40% response rates, and they intuited the balance. Intuiting the balance is going from quantitative to qualitative. We need good empirical data, and it's not easy to get to, but you got to want to get there, and we want to get there. I think EJ is a great person to do it. I've known him for years. He's high integrity, data-driven, the ruthless truth pursuer.
100% agree with him. So again, it wouldn't be crazy for us to get 50 bips on September. If it doesn't happen in September, I mean, let's just put it this way. If there isn't a case for Powell to be fired after him being data dependent on bullshit data that is managed and orchestrated by his department, I don't know what else there is, especially if they get the okay with Cook. She's cooked too. There's no way that she's going to make it. She's done. She had 3 homes that she was claiming primary residency on, and she was renting out one of them. 1 or 2, at least 1. 5 minutes to PPI. What do we think about that? I don't know. Good question. It's probably going to be higher. But if it's lower, that's going to be crazy. And you know what? I haven't even looked yet. Let's see if we got a Tom Schmee. Let's see if my boy, Tommy Lee. Not Tommy Lee. Well, I mean, not the white one, the Asian one, a man I love. Probably one of the men I love the most on this earth. Let's see what he has to say. Mr. Tommy Lee. My Asian brother from another mother. How are you doing this morning, Tom? What do you think about the markets and PPI? Can you give us an update on that? Sure, Jesse. Be right back. I got to go to the
Good evening,
bathroom.
FS Insight family and community. Today is Tuesday, September 9th, and this is our Macro Minute. There are a few data points we're watching carefully this week. And among them is Oracle, which reported after the close today. The stock is up strongly, up 27%. And in our view, it's really affirming that IT spending and the visibility for AI spending remains strong. And I think we're already seeing companies benefiting from this. For instance, Google has eliminated 35% of managers seeing small teams. Keep in mind, as we think about AI, that the majority of these companies are based in the US. And that gets us to valuation. I think the company to look at in terms of AI and the uniqueness of it is NVIDIA, which currently trades at 26.6 times forward earnings. I don't think that's particularly expensive considering that Costco and Walmart actually trade at much higher multiples, 48.5 and 39 times. And so to me, the question remains that if NVIDIA is the scarcest company in AI, why is its multiple so low relative to staples? On Tuesday, we also got the preliminary benchmark payroll revisions to the jobs report, and it was 900,000 negative. Now, that's a big number. Let me explain what that means. If you look
Real quickly, Mike said, I just don't want to hear stagflation from MSM. Yes, that's the big concern, right? If producer prices continue to go up a lot and they look unsustainable, like they're going up a lot, and at the same time we're seeing the market crash, that's where you get the weirdness, okay? That's the thing that we don't want to see. I don't think that's what's happening. I really don't think that's what's happening. I don't think people realize that the slowdown is impacting inflation and that we haven't been doing the money printing that people think we're doing in the United States. That's been China.
Look at average jobs in 2025, it's been roughly 75,000 per month. This benchmark revision actually takes that down to negative 1,000, meaning there's been roughly a 76,000 per month decline in jobs. Think about that for a moment. There's actually been negative jobs growth on average over the past 12 months. And I think that's, of course, dovish.
Yep.
And that's why the market still thinks that there's going to be more than 2 cuts in 2025. It's pricing in roughly 2.7 cuts. And on Wednesday, we get core PPI. Thursday, we get core CPI. And the street's looking for 0.31. As you can see, ever since the month of October, the street's been looking for roughly 0.3. So we'll see what the actual number is. But it is against somewhat tougher comps. So last year, a year ago, August 2024, core CPI was 0.28, so this number is slightly higher. And of course, market.
So what he's telling you guys there when he says comps, he's talking about comparables from previous time frames. And what he's saying is the expectation is that it will actually get higher, slightly higher and worse based upon the comps. So remember that. People are already expecting worse. Remember that part.
It tends to favor it if numbers come in better than expected. But ultimately, we think it's going to be dovish anyways. And then on Friday, we get the University of Michigan one-year inflation expectations.
Which nobody fucking cares about because it's bullshit.
So we're still early in September. As you know, we think the seasonals favor, our seasonals are wrong, and I think that September will be an up month.
Dude, I just want to say Tom Lee gave me fucking credit for calling early that September was going to be an up month. He did the whole hands micro macro thing. That was so fucking awesome. I love this man. He's one of the kindest fucking people on this planet, and he's just brilliant.
We got the jobs report last week, which we think is dovish. This week is going to be
Sean.
August CPI. And then later in September, we get the FOMC rate decision. And as far as strategy goes, we stick with Mag 7, Bitcoin, and Ethereum as the AI trade, and then industrials, financials, and small caps, which we think really hinge on a dovish Fed. So stay on target and keep in mind this still remains the most hated V-shaped rally.
All right, so did he gloss over PPI? I left for a second to hit the boys' room because I'd had so much coffee and so much super gut. I think he skipped over it. So I don't know that we got any of the insights I was hoping for. Let's look over here, though, and refresh and see what kind of data we're getting. We're pumping, guys. 113,000 on Bitcoin, 113.4 on Bitcoin, 4370 on it. Oh yeah, something's happening. Let's see something's happening. I don't see the data yet. I do see PPI August 149.16. Ooh, that's lower than previous, which means these other data points could be too. Holy shit. This could be really good. PPI year over year 2.6 versus 3.3 and 3.4. Fucking A. It is game on. It is game fucking on. If you're not risk on right now, you need to get risk fucking on right now. Right now. Oh, motherfucker. This is it. This is it. No stagflation. Where are all those guys? Where are all the hyperinflation people? Where are all the stagflation people? They're fucking gone. They were wrong. There are other people who I like Caleb Bronson or whatever. He was talking about how we wouldn't get forever. He was talking about how we wouldn't get a September rate cut. He's still talking about how we're going to see higher inflation. And yet the PPI just came in at 2.6 versus 3.3 and 3.4. Who should you be listening to? I might not be perfect with treasury timing. That's for sure. That part's true. But outside of that, I am early. I'm early, but I'm mostly right. That's the thing you need to learn about me. I'm not late. I'm early and mostly right. I exited Palantir too early. I exited Robinhood too early. I exited SoFi too early. I exited a whole bunch of things too early. Not PayPal. Fuck PayPal. Anyway, BTC doesn't like the data. It doesn't like it so much that it's went higher. I guess Ethereum doesn't like it either because it's doing exactly what I talked about and it's breaking out to the upside. Remember how I told you this was the bottom? Remember how I told you 108,000 on Bitcoin was the bottom and that we would trend down that line, and we did exactly fucking that. Coincilium is such a piece of shit coin. Good luck, though. I do have 1.2 million of that stock, shares of that stock, 1.2 million. So I would love to see it go up. I would love that. It might. It still could. I just think it's like one of the shittiest treasuries out there. But it could go up, and we could end up making a lot of money from it. So it could go up. I could look at the chart for 2 seconds, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I don't believe in the project at all. I do think it bottomed, like all these other things, and I think it could give an asymmetric bet. What is the asymmetric bet? 2,200% upside just to get back to the previous high. Ouch. And the golden retracement zone is like 685% higher, but really there's the stack over here of volume. This thing could just dwindle away into nothing too. Hood is cooking. Vlad is killing it. Yeah, dude, Hood's a great product. SoFi is actually getting better and better too. But from mobile app perspective, Hood is just by far the gold standard when it comes to investing and trading. Vlad is a great guy. I really like Vlad. I love that Amit has had so much success too. And I don't want to say ride the coattails because Amit has earned everything he's fucking done. But I love that he's established relationships with Alex Karp, Vlad Tenev, I think these are great people in his life. Amit seemed to struggle. He was very new to this years ago, right? Like 4 years ago, he was very new to this. He would hang out with Tom Nash. I like Tom too, but him and Tom didn't seem to get along too well, and it seemed like Tom would make fun of him a lot. And eventually, I don't know what happened to them, but they separated ways. But I do think that Amit is cooking, and I'm super fucking proud of him because I think he's doing what he was meant to do. I think he's doing what he was destined to do. And he deserves all the accolades in the world. Let's look real quickly, guys. So we got amazing data points here. Let's check out other stuff real quick. Coin market cap, crypto fear and greed index, barely out of fear. We've got the crypto version from Alternative. It is sitting in neutral at 49. We've got Trueflation. Trueflation, let's see what we're sitting at with Trueflation. Yeah, isn't that crazy? That would you have ever thought that Amit would double the viewership of Meet Kevin? I don't even think Meet Kevin ever took Amit seriously, and now I don't know why this isn't generated. We'll come back to it. And now he's above him. It'll take a while, guys, for the CME Fed Watch tool to update. Oh, it does look like we have some data. We have these guys talking real quickly. Oh, I just want to look at this super fast. We have these guys talking on CNBC. I'm going to go back here real quick, and I just want to hear about revisions because that's the stuff that I don't have time to pull up, being a one-trick pony that I am. One-trick pony probably isn't the right term. But one dude trying to run all this. All right, let's listen. We got to get Rick Schmantelli. He's not purple, so I think he's enjoying the day. Jeez, dude. Rick, come on. All right, there we go. Let's turn this on. Your nuance is better than Amit's, but damn, he's a machine. Oh, dude, he's such a worker. Like, I think
for certain.
Here's the thing. I think I do a lot deeper dive into the nitty gritty and getting all that stuff right. But Amit is his network connections, his news, the timeliness of his responses, the way he summarizes things. He's top notch.
Welcome back to Squawk Box. Rick Santella here, live at CMHQ with the important
It's so hard
breaking
to watch,
news
Kevin.
on this Wednesday morning. PPI, wholesale inflation for August, expected to be up 0.3. No. Down 0.1%.
10, 12 million still in it for this year.
That would be the first negative number since April of this year when it was minus 0.2. If you strip out food and energy, we're also expecting up 0.3. It's minus 0.1 as well. Minus 1.
That is crazy. Real quick, I want to talk about Amit. He's not as into crypto as me, you said. He didn't even like crypto. I was pestering him, I don't know, has it been a year already? I was pestering him about Bitcoin and giving him a hard time. But he's into Bitminer now, and he's all about relationships. He's made one with Tom Lee now, and I think he's listening to him a lot more. And I think he's starting to get the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other. I don't know if he actually understands Bitcoin yet. But I think he's headed in the right direction. Again, Trump and his last administration, guys, hated Bitcoin, and wanted a strong U.S. dollar. Now he wants a weak U.S. dollar, and he loves Bitcoin. So, I mean, people change, right?
0.1, the same. Last time we had a minus number was April, and we're comping a minus 0.2 in April. And I do want to point out, last month we had up 0.9 on both those variables. They were the highest going back to March of 22. They just were revised slightly lower to 0.7, so 0.7% for each of those in the rearview mirror for July. Now let's look at ex-food, energy, and trade. Finally, as expected, up 0.3, which follows up 0.6 unrevised at this point. Up 0.3 would actually be the smallest going back to 0 in June of this year. Now the year over year, in my opinion, these are the most important. And boy, I'm surprised. Real progress here. 2.6 on year over year headline.
2.6, motherfucker.
We're expecting 3.3 in the rearview mirror. 3.3.
I hope you guys understand how great this is.
2.6 will be the lowest since it was 2.4 in June, and it underscores whether it was tariff driven or not. Those little blips seem to be moving back into the sunset. Year over year ex-food energy, 2.8%. That's core 2.8, expecting 3.5. In the rearview mirror, a whopping 3.7. 2.8 would equate to the smallest since June of this year, but that was the smallest going all the way back to April of 24. And finally, last but not least, probably the most important, ex-food, ex-energy, ex-trade, up 2.8, exactly as last look, which was up 2.8, 2.8 back-to-back. And 2.5 was June, just to give you a comp. We started the year at 3.5. So these numbers have indeed moderated a bit after the jump.
This is so good, guys. This is so good. We've got the 10-year treasury rolling over. I just want to talk about this real quick. I post it, but I don't think a lot of people grasp it. This is what's happening. We're going down into the 3s, maybe the 2s on this. I've been talking about it for a while. This is a rising, broadening wedge. We have lots of touch points, a total of 4 now. Look at this. We only got 2 up here, and now we've got lower highs, right? Lower highs, you can see that. And then we've got 4 touch points to the downside. We are going to explode downward. If you look over here, we've got bearish divergence that starts all the way on October of 2022. This is coming down. This is coming down. And, bonds are important, BGZ. If you don't understand how the bond market works, you don't understand how the majority of money is working for the entire fucking earth. So bonds are important, and you can invest in STRC, but here's the downside risk, that the market doesn't understand the products that MicroStrategy is offering and that Michael Saylor is putting out there. And if they don't understand it, those products can be crushed in a down market. Now, I don't think we're in a down market yet, so I think you're probably going to be okay over the short term, but just remember that. But it's important that yields are coming down. Everybody talks about how expensive it is for the U.S.'s debt because our debt is at such high interest rates, and we're having to float that debt, and we're spending more than we spend on the military. Well, if we want to spend less than what we spend on the military, we need rates to come down, and we're seeing the perfect storm. This is exactly what I've been calling all fucking year. Since the beginning of tariffs, I said Trump is putting forth the pain now, because this is what you do when you want to be stronger in the future. You endure pain over the short term so that you can have success over the long. That's how it works. And that's what this administration is doing. And have all the Trump derangement fucking syndrome you want, it will fail you. It will make you miss out on one of the best markets in history. So if you want your TDS to cause you to lose tons of fucking money, keep doing what you're doing. Keep talking negative shit. Give me the Heil Hitlers when I'm driving my fucking Cybertruck down the road, and have fun staying fucking poor. Or you could learn how the world really works. You could learn what's driving it. You could learn why things are happening. And you could understand why what he's doing is some of the best stuff that could possibly be happening to America right now. And I say this as somebody who voted for Obama and Joe Biden. So call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. I'm just a realist who looks for truth. Yes, open the markets. I agree. Let's do that. And you can mistake my passion for something else, but I just want the world to be a better place. And I love my country. I love my daughter. I want her to have a better life. The most pessimistic people on this fucking earth are people that don't have children. And here's the thing. You might not want to have children. You might be really happy. That's possible too. But the most pessimistic people you will find are people that don't want kids because they don't believe the world is a good place. The people that want to make the world a better place, they're the ones that look at their children with love and go, God, I've got to do something to make sure that they have a better life. Yeah, we need businessmen as presidents. I 100% agree with that, guys. And it's okay to love your country, okay? It's not okay to turn into Adolf Hitler. But the same people that accuse me of being Hitler are the same ones that want to burn all the fucking Jews. So maybe they're not the good guys. Crazy, I know. Anyway, boy, you're getting this is a special episode. If we could get some likes, guys, I put my heart and soul into all this. If we could get some likes, I would greatly appreciate it. life was pointless before my kid was born. Yeah, dude, I don't even remember life before my kid. I really don't. You voted Obama? Yeah, okay. Everybody can be stupid. Everybody can have Trump derangement syndrome. Why do I know Trump derangement syndrome so well? Because I had it. Because I listened to people that lied to me all the time. And they lost me. They lost me. I was an easy one. And now I'm literally militant against the left. Boy, have they fucked up. Never going to win an election again. Anyway, moving on. My buddy Gally, he's the guy who got me into Tesla. He's an OG from back in the day. It's crazy that he has 168,400 followers and I have 100. It's so weird. I literally was nobody. Neuralink, there are now 12 people around the world with Neuralink implants. Collectively, they had their devices for 2,000 days and accumulated over 15,000 hours of use. We look forward to continuing to explore the possibilities of Neuralink. I love that. And again, I'll get caught up on what we were talking about here with Tesla, and I'll go from there. Can we just talk about stocks and markets? Okay. Hey, no, that's cool. You'll never have a comment in here again, Andrew. There you go. Bye. Here's the thing, guys. You don't silence my voice, and you don't tell me what I talk about, okay? You can ask for things. We can have a good conversation. I talk about what I want to talk about. That's how this works. This is my fucking channel. If you want to talk about your shit, go make your own. All right. Here we go. So, holy crap, Tom Homan lights up MSNBC. I won't go through all of this, but he talks about how disgusting it is that she uses the term disappearing people. He said, U.S. citizens get arrested every day. Are they disappearing? No, laws are being enforced. And that is the message you need to get. There's a Henry Ford study, vaxxed versus unvaxxed, and it's finding that people that were vaccinated have all kinds of neural development disorders. I think we're going to find out all kinds of truth about this that even doctors have said are lies. This guy's a doctor that posted this. So I think we need to give our boy Robert F. Kennedy some time to cook, some time to work, so that we can try and find the truth. I like 7:30 Eastern, looking for group. Why can't we swear? I don't know, I swear. Oh, hey, that's YouTube. I don't think they let you do that. I think they block it. I think. Or maybe it's a setting. I don't know. Pretty financial, but you shouldn't swear. No, I'm kidding. So glad I never got the vax. Yeah, well, not even just, that's not the COVID vax they're talking about. They're talking about vaccinations amongst children. So it's worse. But again, we need to not, speaking of blocking, we need to not have things blocked. We need to allow the research to come out. And we need to allow scientists to talk back and forth on why these things are happening. And we need transparency, right? For everything in life, for all levels of government. Otherwise, you turn into Nepal. Unlike El Salvador, Pakistan, Argentina, Kazakhstan does not have an IMF loan. That's International Monetary Fund. So this order is likely going to go through unimpeded. So Kazakhstan says that they've ordered the creation of a strategic reserve. And since they don't have the IMF leaning over them, they're going to get it. God Saad says a society that burns neighborhoods and calls for the defunding of the police for a guy on the left and largely ignores the butchering. This guy on the left was on drugs and had a slew of crimes. And I was somebody who was like, oh, the cop should have got off and blah, blah, blah. I was that guy. But compare him to her and listen to the just the hypocrisy of the left, ignoring her, a victim, a clear victim who was stabbed to death and got no help from anyone, versus a guy who was a convicted felon and a criminal performing a crime and getting arrested. They burned that fucking city down, their neighborhoods, but nothing for her. And then this one I loved. No one should ever question why this child had to carry weapons. And we found out later on they actually arrested the people that were following her and her sister. Elon talks about optimists being hard, but how it's nothing compared to the Starship. Alex Karp. Let's listen to Karp here and see what Karp has to say. I love Alex Karp because he says what he believes. Yeah, Neuralink, his blind sight, is going to cure blindness. How can people hate Elon Musk? What kind of derangement does it take to hate a man who's giving internet to the world, who single-handedly created the EV market in the United States, who is helping us with energy to compete with China, who gave us a site that allows us to still have free speech and is keeping somebody like me from being arrested and imprisoned for the rest of my life? For somebody who helps quadriplegics communicate and interact with their society again and give blind people vision, and I'm forgetting a bunch of shit. Also going to get us to Mars and a base on the moon. Let's listen to Karp here real quick, because Karp has a lot to say too.
Modern progressive movement is clearly not progressive. Progressive is defined by the working class do better tomorrow than they did today and know it.
Right.
Okay. To do that, you need things that you can do at scale now. Vocational training on AI-based systems. Making our laborers more valuable. Obviously, closing the border so that you don't reduce the amount that you pay people and also eviscerate legal protections. This is not progressive. It's not progressive, by the way, to have so little competence or willing to use force that we get overrun by drugs. Who do those drugs go to? Disproportionately poor people of color.
Yes.
Again, the black community, immigrant communities, they suffer the most from crime. It's not the criminals we should be focused on as far as kindness. It's the people they're performing the crimes against.
It's not progressive to have crime rates. You know, to be a civil war zone, to be a war zone, you have to have five deaths per 100,000. That's like half our cities. How's that progressive? What, you mean you care about poor people so much, you're just going to let them kill each other?
All right, can you shift gears here? So
you care about poor people enough, you're just going to let them kill each other. And more importantly, the criminals that are killing each other, they're usually killing other people, sometimes other gangbangers, but they're also killing innocent people that are just trying to live their fucking life. Okay? We've got the Coast Guard blowing up another drug vessel. I love this. I voted for that. We've got Robert F. Kennedy saying, there has never been a president in my lifetime that is more fearless about challenging the entrenched interest of our society than the POTUS. Again, he says, we need to save the children. I agree. We should know the truth. We should know if we're hurting our kids or if we're helping them. We've got the director of national intelligence. And what is she saying? Let's just listen here real quick. Let's see what Tulsi Gabbard has to say. Thought PPI would be higher. It's not.
Thank you, Tulsi. And we do want to take questions on this topic while the director has time for this topic. She will leave. I'm happy to take questions on other matters after that. But if anyone has questions for Director Gabbard, you're welcome to ask them. We'll start with our new media seat as always. Emily, go ahead.
Thank you. And Director Gabbard, this one is for you. Do you believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former President Obama?
Correct. The evidence that we have...
Yes, Barack Obama, the guy I voted for, was working to overthrow Donald Trump and prevent him from being elected.
Found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces.
He was faking intelligence and working to prevent Donald Trump from being in power. This is the modern Democratic Party. They're communists. And if you don't like what I hear, I've lost about 100 people because I'm talking about politics too much and just truth. And yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
Ed, go ahead.
Director Gabbard, thank you. So just two questions, but to begin on that. The president yesterday, you've inferred that the former president helped lead a coup. Based on what you now see, do you believe President Obama is guilty of treason?
I'm leaving the criminal charges to the Department of Justice. I'm not an attorney, but...
It looks like he is. And I don't know. Maybe he's going to prison. Maybe that's what needs to happen. If he committed a real crime, if he committed treason against the United States of America so that he could decide and anoint the next person into power, then he deserves to. Jeff Park, another Asian brother from another mother, Stanford, Morgan Stanley, Bitwise, now he's a part of Burr with Anthony Pompliano. He said, this is insane. You don't need more cops on the street. You need less criminals in the street. If you approach government this way, you will always overspend beyond your means without curing the actual cancer. If you support homelessness and the prices go up every year and you're spending more on it and you have more homeless people, you're doing something wrong. If you're spending more to have cops on the street arresting people, but they don't stay in jail or prison for their crimes and they get immediately let go or let go over short periods of time, even when they try to murder people, you're doing it wrong. You're causing a large expense. You're not doing the thing that you're supposed to do with the people. And you're fiscally, he said fiscal responsibility starts with moral responsibility. I would argue that you're fiscally irresponsible because you're not following morality and doing the right thing. And yeah, that's all changing. Things are changing. Charlie Kirk fires back at Van Jones. The attacker said, quote, "I got that white girl." We got a bunch of people on CNN talking about how, we can't know what he was trying to do. Well, let's see. Black on white crime is through the roof and going up like crazy. And we have black people talking about murdering all white people. And we've been telling them for years that white people are the problem and that it's not violence in their own communities. And then we got a murderous black man who was arrested 14 times and then let go by a person who was not somebody who passed the bar. And then we got commentators saying, we can't know what he was trying to do, even though he said, "I got that white girl." Listen to the audio. Watch her get stabbed to death. Watch how nobody helps her. Tesla's AI 5 chip. Sorry, I'm going off today. I'm just in a mood. I don't know if anybody noticed. This is what you get sometimes. Elon Musk says Tesla's AI 5 chip, AI 5, will be 40 times better than AI 4 in some metrics, and 8x better in raw compute, 9x more for memory. This is insane. And then AI 6 is like insanely better than that. I love this. I love that artists are being offered $10,000 each to paint murals of arena across major American cities. This should happen. They'll probably be destroyed by people that will tag them, but we need to start changing the narrative, and this is how you do it. Manis said Sats accretion. Again, these are Satoshis in case somebody doesn't know what a Sat is. A Satoshi is the smallest unit of measure in Bitcoin. While MNAVs have compressed across the sector, is showing which companies have continued to keep the flywheel spinning. So you look here, and I don't know if this is fully diluted because that includes like everything, right? It might be a slightly smaller number if you include fully diluted. But what is Smarter Web been doing? Growing their amount of Bitcoin per share while the price falls. This will correct itself. And guys, yesterday, Smarter Web was up over 26%. If it's down a couple percent today, I don't want to hear any bitching. I don't. Be happy that it's up 100% from the bottom less than a week ago. Dylan Loomis, everyone seems to be glossing over this from the Mega Block presentation. Tesla has deployed 36 gigawatt hours of Megapack battery storage cumulatively to date. Tesla has another 30 gigawatt hours coming online soon that has already been shipped. The Megapack queue alone is nearly as big as Tesla's entire Megapack storage fleet. We're entering exponential growth for energy and Megapack creation. I hope you guys realize this. This is a really big deal. Carl Minger said, for the first time in history, the U.S. is spending more in debt interest than defense, and we're just getting started. It might make sense to get some Bitcoin just in case. So again, these are projections done by a bunch of crazy-ass fucking liberals. I would ignore them. I said, and once we lower interest rates, that will start to change in the right direction, or at least give us more time. So it won't look like this. What it'll look like is defense will be picking up, and interest will probably cross underneath of it. You heard it here first. It is coming. Bookmark it. Tippy 2000. Hey Jesse, I haven't been around for a while, but I had a resub just to get to give you props for being one saying the S&P 700 while almost all of FinTwit saying recession and Great Depression. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all of you guys supporting me. It's great. Let's listen to a black man with a pentagram on his head talk about whether or not we need to worry about mental illness from black murderers or just murderers in general. Let's listen to what he has to say. This guy looks like he's seen some shit in his life. Let's listen.
I really wish they found out who started that GoFundMe for Buddy ass that stabbed that lady on that bus.
Thank you, Taz.
I swear, some of y'all need to be hunted down and beat. Y'all making up these weird-ass excuses talking about mental health played an important part. So fucking what? He need to be under the jail. His ass still need to chill. What the fuck does that mean? Knock it the fuck off. He wasn't that crazy. It was other men on that goddamn bus. There were males. His ass ain't pull that shit with a man. He pulled it with a woman.
He knew he had a victim. And thank you. Thank you to the guy with the, I don't know if it's a pentagram or what. He's got a lot of shit on his head. Don't love facial tattoos, but I love the fact that this guy is keeping it real and saying what really happened. We got the U.S. Coast Guard catching 17,000 pounds of cocaine from the Eastern Pacific. You got to realize China is trying to perform the opium wars in reverse. The Brits did that to them, right? They decimated China with opium. They drugged out the population, right? Oh, this must be old. It's got a community note. This video was recorded. Oh, okay, well, whatever. So it didn't happen. This is 2019. But anyway, you saw the other video. We're blowing these fuckers up now. We're getting rid of the drugs. And we're going to work hard to focus on Central and South America and also up at the Canadian border to make sure that this stuff stops. We're going to dry this country out. We take way too much of the drugs. And we need to make it to where people are sober. Really appreciate community notes now. Yeah, it's great, dude. I love community notes. I think it's fucking wonderful. I think it's good to have checksums in place that validate whether or not people are lying to you. That come back and give a notification to the person that posted it or retweeted it, letting them know that it was factually inaccurate and leaving that history on there. I think it's beautiful. Can we talk about the rocket shot at the UFO, please? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, are we talking about Greta Thunberg or is this something else? Better off without those followers. That said, you'd be way over 100,000. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I don't care, though. The number, again, here's what I'm obviously finding an audience, and I think that audience is thirsty for truth, and that's wonderful. We got about 28 minutes before the bell. So you had people yelling at Trump when he was going to eat yesterday, saying that he was the Hitler of our time. All the Free Palestine fucking douchebag weirdos. And what's funny about this is the same people that are saying that he's the Hitler of our time hate Jews and want to see from the river to the sea, right? These same people, they're holding Free Palestine flags. And they're probably from the river to the sea people. And they hate Jews, but Trump is Hitler. Make it make sense, please. Because I don't see it. So what are we at with ASST right now? It was up 60% last night. It's up 87% now, heading into the open. You guys will get to see what I'm doing with that here soon enough. And I still don't know what you mean by the talk about the rocket shot at the UFO. But guys, if you could share this out on X, on YouTube, if you guys could leave notes after or comments after the video, you talking in chat helps too. I'd like to get more of a presence out there than I have. I want people to know the truth. I said treasuries are outperforming on a day when their underlying assets are going down. So again, I said history tells us this is a good thing. Somebody inside of it said, what history? And I said the history of every asset I've ever owned that acts as a multiplier to the underlying asset. We already talked about MetaPlanet, which here's the beautifulness of the Smarter Web Company. If I'm honest, I'm hungry for your brilliance in the market. You're helping us succeed in a pursuit of our financial goals. The politics I can leave, but that's okay. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate you bearing with me. I'll try and get better in the future at giving bookmarks to where you can go to specific spots too. I do not do that, but I'm going to. I always respect your stuff. The world needs to know who you are. Thank you. I appreciate that, Loss on Crypto. Freedom, this is somebody who wanted me to pass this on. They're from Nepal. They want the corruption to be over. They don't want Nepo kids with stolen rupees, basically stealing all their wealth. They want to be free. They want to have opportunity. You think it's bad in the United States, try living in Nepal. And I hope they get exactly what they're looking for. Again, incredible speech from this kid. Even though he does sound like Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a powerful communicator who accomplished great things. Not good things. But he was powerful. And just because somebody has a powerful projection and the ability to communicate does not make them Adolf Hitler. Their actions would. Did I talk about Tesla? I haven't talked about Tesla much. I don't know if there's a lot to say about Tesla. I did get all my bookmarks in. I mean, there is a lot to say about Tesla, but it looks like we're consolidating perfectly above the fib. My friend, the great Matsby, also Cantonese Cat, I think hit 50K, guys. I'm so happy that that's happened. He's a good dude. You don't get a lot of cats that play the uke, but they both agree that we're consolidating. We're seeing higher lows, right? Let's just look here. So down here, the low, higher 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 low. This is what happens when you take off. Again, I've said next target, 400. Next target, 460-ish. And my ultimate target is above 500. It's 540-ish. That's the measured move for what I believe is the cup and handle with a very long handle. Big ass cup. Also a W bottom. Perfect measured move on the W bottom. Called the top right over here, right? Like, let's just look at that. Let's look at the astrology for men and just look at how accurate it is. I don't always like to go to the wickety wick, so I'll be conservative here and go to the actual candle body. That's the darker part. But if we just look over here, kind of tells you what happened, right? Told you to get the fuck out right here. Also, resistance over here. And volume on the right. If I refresh some of that too, show it. You can see how the volume of the right got up here. And it was like, oh, okay, we could be good. We could be good. Or the measured move could roll over because we've hit resistance over here on the longer time frame. And that's what happened. We got bad news. We dropped. But I think Tesla's getting ready to go up. I'm actually using 100,000 in margin, 120 maybe. Don't normally do that at all, not even remotely. But I'm up big on it, actually. I'm in deep in TSLL at $9 for the ride up. What is it even at right now? I don't know. Big ass cup astrology for men. Yes. Tesla, my mistake, not GTFO at the high. Yeah. And that happens. I got out over here. I got in hard over here, especially after this confirmation. I got out over here. The only thing I did wrong was when we hit this new high over here, I started getting back into options too quickly, and I wasn't recalculating them and looking at the odds. It was just a really dumb move. It was amateur hour, but you get that way. When the worst time for me is when I'm making money. It's when I'm making money. It's when my stress level increases. Guys, by the way, Bitcoin almost at 114,000. Remember who told you that it was, I said with 100% confidence in all fucking caps, I said, this is the bottom. Right? I said it was the bottom. I told you that it was the bottom. I'm not getting any calls. I just don't feel confident about the remainder of the year. I think we're doing great things, but I don't know what the narratives are going to look like, and I don't know how high we're going to go. There's just so much. I'm not looking to add leverage. I've said that a bunch of times. I'm looking to pull back. Again, this is amazing, Sawyer Merritt. The amount of developments happening in the Muskonomy these days is wild. It's hard to keep up with. Remember it all. This is just this last year, or I'm sorry, the last couple of weeks. Successful Starship test, our 10th test flight. $17 billion SpaceX deal for Spectrum. Tesla Mega Block and Mega Pack 3 unveil. Tesla 2025 proxy filling with proposed investment in XAI. Tesla's new proposed Elon Pay package. New Model Y performance unveil. Sold out in China. Tesla Model Y for the L, deliveries. Initial launch of FSD in Australia. Tesla Robotaxi app launch on Apple Store in US and Canada. Tesla Robotaxi geofence expansion in Austin. First ever Tesla deliveries in India. Tesla now selling superchargers. Cybertruck now available to order in South Korea. Neuralink successfully implanted telepathy brain chip into 2 more humans. First surgeries for the company outside of the U.S. Starlink now has 7 million customers. Tesla's Giga Berlin factory now drive themselves autonomously to their designated lanes on the outbound lot without human intervention. Tesla Master Plan 4. And you guys are bearish? Crazy. We're talking about banning ads for pharmaceuticals on television. We're only one of 2 countries on Earth that do direct-to-consumer advertising for pharmaceutical drugs. Make it go away. I voted for that. Palantir CEO talking about China. I want to hear what he has to say. It's 47 seconds long. Let's listen.
Are they trying to destabilize our country with fentanyl, with TikTok, and do you have concerns about that?
Okay, obviously, but again, I'll tell you what. So they're obviously.
I'm in full agreement.
Okay, but my version always of this is it's their job to destabilize us. It's our job to be stable, and it's like when you're.
It's our job to be stable as a country. That's exactly right.
Most people here are running successful businesses. It's like well said. Yeah, it's our job to be stable. It's our stable. If you want to, the Tai Chi version of you're not going to have to enter the fight if you're strong. There is no fight. If there's a fight, the famous martial arts thing is if you're in a fight, you're not a martial artist.
Correct.
So, and this is the same thing in business. When you get to the point where you're competing with someone, you've really fucked something up. If you look at the Palantir.
Are they trying to destabilize?
So again, we're not trying to compete against China. We're trying to be stable so that they can't. And just be a great country so that they can't overthrow us. We can't allow that. Jesse, do you listen to Joe Bhakti? I do. I like Joe. Recently listened to him a lot on Tesla analysis. Very smart. He is, but he thought the price was going down and he's wrong. I do love Joe, though. I think Joe's a great guy. I think he's a brilliant dude. All right. What was the thing about Trump tweeted? What was that, Tezos? I didn't see what you were talking about. Jesse, miners are doing quite well the last few days. Do you think they can still make the king move? I think they can roll, man. I think they can all roll. And I think that's all good. We want that, right? All right, let's keep going here. Oracle got a God candle. Let's listen to what Adrian said here. I repeat, AI is not in a bubble. I actually argued with him and said AI could be at a bubble. Starting one. That bubble could go on for years. Astid's making me do push-ups. Is that ass and titties or is that something else? Micro to macro, this is all happening all over the place, and our country will be better for it. I actually don't know what this lady's work ethic is, but she was a DEI director at Rose State College in Oklahoma, and she doesn't have a job anymore. And I hope she finds something good in a real job, and not one that's based upon racism. That's all I have to say. Yesterday, I sold Upexi, down 1%. I don't know how Upexi will do. I just don't have enough time to follow it, so I've been consolidating. And I threw that money into Sold, a 2x fund for Solana. It looks like it's up 7.5% in pre-market. It looks like Upexi is only up 3.63, so I think that was the right move. Squeeze these shorts. So again, guys, we'll talk more about ASST in a minute, in about 18 minutes, when the market opens. But there's massive short interest on this. This says there's 122.4% short interest. And so we could have some really crazy short squeeze on this. I am not telling people to buy into it. First off, I don't provide financial advice. I think this deal, the merger, looks a little weird. And we're going to talk about that more in a second. Yeah. Is CleanSpark going to change up strategies and be the next Iron? I don't think they're the next Iron, but I do think they should change up strategies. I think if they do that, they stand a chance of really going higher. If they can at least double, that would be amazing. ETHZ, I am in that one, and I think it's curling around too. I like BMNR the most. I think SBET is going to do well. It's going to be a nice catch-up trade. And ETHZ is like the small cap for me. It could do well. It might not. Who knows? My Salt that I bought at $16, I tried to tell people, yeah, it was a great investment. I wrote it up for a while too, and then I sold out of it to get into the treasuries. I should have stayed in it. It did better over that period of time, but that's what it is. Real quick, guys, I'm going to let you listen to Jim Cramer for a second while I hit the restroom one more time. And then we're going to watch the market open and see what happens here. And we'll talk about that trade with ASTS, and we'll do some more. Be right back.
Chicken, eggs, natural gas. Guys, you need to watch steak. I think the cattle futures broke yesterday.
You think we're rolling over on beef prices? You said this yesterday.
Yeah, because they were down 2.3%. I think that steak.
What are people just, is the demand going away? Because the herd is declined dramatically. You think it's starting?
I'm saying the herd's expanding. That's what I really do.
What, they're pulling heifers to?
I think they're pulling heifers.
All right.
But they do like each other.
They do.
Yeah, we were counting on it. Yes.
Seriously, and cows, they can. I mean, they do a lot of like checking each other out, but mostly like the male checks out the female.
So you think what do we go from 32 million to 29? We're going to go back up.
And I got to tell you, that's why I think the Potbelly deal.
Yes.
Could be a steal.
Yes, Potbelly finally getting bought, right?
Always a bride, always bridesmaid, never bride. But right down here, they have really good cookies. Don't forget that.
Okay, I won't.
Right. There was some discussion in the print today about margins, services margins, for example, down 1.7.
Interesting.
Who gives a shit about margins? I told you margins would compress for these companies. It is what it is, man. Nobody fucking cares. What we care about is whether inflation is being passed on to the consumer and it's hurting their purchasing power. That's the thing that matters. All right, so let's just take a look here. Let's just quickly comb through the data. We got another 14 minutes. I want to dig in deeper here. He posted on X about the PPI data and also about the animal who killed the girl. Yeah. Okay. He's probably happy about the PPI data, right? Not that we won't see, again, guys, there are comparables for the CPI data that Tom Lee said could be negative. And so we could see a higher CPI tomorrow. But knowing that producers aren't seeing a lot of inflation is good. And what is going to happen if, by some miracle tomorrow, CPI is lower too? It is going to be game on in a heartbeat, and everybody will have missed it because they don't listen to this channel because I have political views that might not be favorable. It's a shame, guys. It's a shame because those same political views are me finding the truth, which help me with investing. And so if you're constantly trying to find the truth, whether it's politics, whether it's macro environment, whether it's the financials of a company, whatever it is, then you can make a lot of money. And you shouldn't ignore the political reality of this world. That's not a good idea. All right. Core PPI year over year, 2.8% versus 3.4 previously. Consensus was 3.5 and 3.6 for forecast. So way underneath the mark, guys. 0.7 to 0.8% lower than expected. If you subtract food, energy, and trade year over year, it was 2.8% versus 2.7 previously. So again, food, energy, and trade are the things that came down the most. That's what it's telling us because this was pretty flat. The forecast was 2.9. It came in at 2.8. So really, the food and energy and trade were the things that were really just dropping like crazy. And remember what everybody said, guys? What did everybody say? Oh my God, guys, April, tariffs are going to destroy the world. Donald Trump just gave us hyperinflation. Where is it? It's August. August data. We're in September. When does it come? You know what? It doesn't. It doesn't in a substantive way because tariffs slow down economies, which reduce inflation. Money printing can increase inflation. You bet there's a lot of it in China right now and other parts of the world, but there isn't here. And that's an important thing to understand. It looks like we have wholesale inventories, not really a big deal. Nothing else today. Let's look at what we have tomorrow, and I'll skip the big guys here. We'll talk about that stuff later. Tomorrow, core inflation rate, CPI, jobless data. We're going to have all of it. It's going to be a big day tomorrow, guys. Really big day. Tomorrow If we get good data on these points, it's going to get fucking crazy. I hope none of the people that dropped off own ASST because they're probably going to want to know what I'm doing. Where my concerns are, what the positives are. Let's look over here, though. We got Friday data. Let's see here. Friday, again, Michigan data. This is all bullshit and incredibly pathetic. Remember the 5-year inflation expectations, guys? In April, they said it was 4.4%. May, 4.2, 4, 3.4. Then they said it was 3.5 again in August. And, I mean, none of that's happened, right? Like, look at what they bid us up to. Nice. The SBET did the share buyback. Yes, I'm really proud of that. That's a great idea. I think I have like 80 to 100,000 in SBET right now. Still, I sold some of it because I bought BMNR because I just have such high hopes for BMNR, and I love Tom Lee. But yeah, macro at 8:30. I'm sorry, what macro? We already got our macro. We're good. All right, let's keep rolling down while we're waiting here for the bell to toll. Let's look at pre-market, actually. So pre-market is looking beautiful. Tesla up 1.23. NVIDIA just launching again, which is going to help my SMCI. My SMCI was up 7.2% yesterday, 3% in pre-market. Tesla going up a lot. How's my ARGT going? I bought the dip on that. It was only like $3,000 or $4,000 in the end. But it's up 0.4% today. And that one I think is going to go higher too. I think a lot of people are misreading what's happening in Argentina. Could be wrong. Sorry, I was talking about Marco Polo because he asked about CPI. Oh, okay. Thanks, man. Loss on crypto. I've been sitting on my hands, all my positions locked in, and I did really good for 2 months. Patience is a virtue. It is a virtue, dude. It's hard. Yeah, Oracle. Oracle is another sign that AI is real, right? I posted this yesterday. Look at this. The consolidation here on peak volumes and then launch, right? Consolidation here on peak volumes, touch the fib, launch, right? Consolidation, peak volumes. You could actually argue this was one too. Peak volumes, consolidation, launch. Peak volumes, drop back to the fib, this yellow line. Sitting here on peak volumes, and now we're launched because this was 43.13 and now we're 43.80. I told you it was coming. Solana looking even better, guys. Solana literally breaking out as we speak right now. Let's look at Solana. Solana is at the highest level it has been since January of this year. January of this year, guys. Yes, SBIT did buybacks. They said they were doing buybacks in order to be able to purchase back shares because their MNAV, I think, was like 0.8 something. And that's what they're supposed to do. That's what Tom Lee said he would do with Bitminer. That's what they should do with SBET. They did it. That renews my faith in the company. SBET is 1/3 the size of BMNR. That's probably a good thing. So anyway, so we've got this consolidation range with a cup and handle that really leaves fuck. Right? Fuck. This thing is huge. I think that Solana can go to $1,000. I know that sounds crazy, but here's the deal. It's a $111 billion market cap. $1,000 only turns this into a $500 billion market cap. That's not much when you compare it to the size of other things, right? Let's look over here. I mean, NVIDIA is $4.5 trillion. We've got Bitcoin here. What is Bitcoin? 2.5 trillion, roughly $2.26 trillion. So if Bitcoin can double, let's just say Bitcoin gets to $4 trillion. Let's say it only goes up 50% ish, gets to 4.5 trillion. Ethereum is probably going to at least double over that time frame. So Ethereum could be $1 to $1.5 trillion at that time. And I don't think it's crazy. And ignore XRP. It's the devil. I don't think it's crazy to think that this thing can go up to $500 billion or more. I don't think it's crazy at all. Are you saying $1,000 by November? I am. Yeah, I am. And if you want to be conservative, then I think you look towards the 640 range, the .618 golden retracement zone. Historically, though, usually what we see is between the .618 and the .786. You'll buy me a steak for breakfast? Awesome. I like a steak burrito or a sausage burrito is my favorite. I'm a cheap date, so it'll be a good time. But yeah, so this is what I see happening. We've got heck, guys, we've got almost 40% just to break through the new all-time high. Get excited. You should be. Solana is a good coin, and I think it's going to do really well. That's why I'm not shitting on Chicken Genius too much, because he said that Ethereum isn't going to do well. I disagree with that, but he did say that he moved to a Solana, which I think can do better. I agree with that. So, yeah, good times. Good times. Lots of great things happening. I want to show you this too, guys, because we are in alt season. If we just switch this here from sized by market cap to performance over the last week, tell me we're not in altcoin season. Tell me we're not in altcoin season. Upixi could do well. I don't have enough brain power to keep track of all these treasuries. And I think Solt could do even better. Because again, if we go up 500% on Solt, I could get 1,500. I know that sounds weird, but when you multiply, it's a 2x fund and it multiplies the numbers. So you could do a really crazy number with that. So just remember that. But this is nuts. 1,400% in a week for this shitcoin, 94% for this shitcoin, 111 for this shitcoin. We're definitely seeing altcoin season starting, and it is glorious. Let me switch this to market cap. We've got about 4 minutes, guys, until the bell goes. I'm going to move this over. Again, Solana, the big winner today. Ethereum, not so much, because Bitcoin is pumping too, and Ethereum is lagging. But I do think Ethereum will do well, and I think you shouldn't discount it. All right, let's look over here, see what else we got. Ass and titties is 85% in pre-market. Traditional finances preaches sharp ratios, but Lehman and Bear Stearns and WAMU still collapsed. This is 2008 great financial crisis. They didn't collapse because of volatility. They collapsed because of leveraged math. What does that mean? Because their assets were toxic. This is the thing that people don't realize. If you look at this, it wasn't overvaluation. It wasn't any of the sharp rate. It's not all this shit, right? It was bad assets because they thought they had AAA graded debt, and what they had was garbage. And so what they thought was safety was not safety, because Moody's and all these rating agencies were lying to them about what the value was of these toxic assets that were these mortgage-backed securities that were all jumbled together. They were horrible loans. One of them was mine. Got to see that firsthand. And so they all went under. That is what caused 2008. You want to own good assets. Bitcoin is a real asset. If you're scared about valuations in the stock market, all this other stuff, and guys, grain of salt. Follow Grain of Salt. I love this guy. He is Z06Z07. He is a good dude. He is brilliant. I love some of his charts. He's one of my new faves. So Cracker Barrel has officially canceled their renovations. So they're killing woke. And I said, conservatives in the USA right now, look at me. I am the captain now. What's your take on Circle? I don't have enough to say about it. It went up a lot. There's a lot of things that go up a lot. Let me keep going down here. I'm going to see what else I can find of value. So this is why Ass and Titties is up so much today. It's because they announced their merger. They filed their S4. Their S4 declared effective. And then they had their shareholder vote to proceed ahead with the merger. They still have to close the merger and buy Bitcoin. We're going to talk about my thoughts on that in a second. So if you own ASST, it is very important that you listen. Because there's both opportunity here and maybe the opposite. Congressman Tim Moore, today I led a letter calling for the removal of Magistrate Judge Teresa Stokes, who released a 14-time offender who went on to murder Irina Zarutska in Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, one sec. Sorry, I got to yell at my daughter every time before she goes to school. We should do this. We should go after horrible people that allow this shit to continue, that aren't even judges, haven't even passed the bar. Make them pay. Take their livelihood away. Take all their money away. Make an example of this bitch. so that other judges actually think about whether or not they should release somebody out into circulation. Growth scare is not a recession, says my buddy, my Canadian brother from another mother, PhD economist, James Thorne. Grain of salt. Wall Street pays $40 for every $1 of Apple earnings, but only $1.50 for every $1 of Bitcoin at Strategy. Best multiple in the market. Yes, sir. I don't think people are properly valuing MicroStrategy or the rest of these. And I think we could see when narratives flip, guys, oh my God. Tell me how many of you, can you guys in chat, tell me how many of you, is this your first cycle for Bitcoin? The first 4-year cycle. Is this your first one? In chat, if this is your first 4-year cycle, please tell me. If it's not your first cycle, tell me that too. I want to know where people are sitting here. Both the United States and Qatar were alerted by Israel this morning that they would be neutralizing $15 billion worth of wealth that was Hamas. This is your first cycle, Gemini. Okay. Pop in my chair. Whoa, there's a lot of you guys. Holy shit. Okay. There's a bunch. Okay, so a few seconds. Oh my God, I didn't realize how many people are new. Holy shit. So you guys don't even know. You guys don't even know what things get like. We're going to go from bear market. It looks like, oh, the market opened 80%. All right, guys, now we need to talk about AST real quickly. Here's my thought on it. There's a massive short squeeze underway. It's up here right now. It hit this next fib level. If I'm correct, I just sold all of mine, and it can go higher. But I'm going to talk to you about why I sold all of it. I need to get in here first, though, so just give me a second. I need to confirm that I've done that. If you guys could understand that. It's going up even higher, and it can go up even higher. But I do have something I want to show you, and why I have a few concerns about it, and why I sold it. Again, it's always important, guys, to understand what is going on in the world. And let me just pull it up here. I need to confirm that I sold it. And this thing could scream higher. You guys do you. Here's what I want to talk about, and I'll pull this post up in a second after I sell this, or after I confirm that it's been sold. It says I have $180,000 in cash. Okay, so I just made $100,000. It's up 100% now, and it's going higher. It's in a short squeeze. I think this is not financial advice, but I think people should get the fuck out. Why do I say that? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why I think you should take your profits if you have them. And here's the deal. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I can always be wrong. All I'm doing is trying to give you guys the best information that I have, okay? It's always that. So this company, I'll share this article. I'm actually going to do this right now, I think. I'm going to share this. That way you guys can read it too. Let me see here. Create a share link. Let me go and post this. All right, this is going out to members only. This is why people should sub. If you don't sub, you get fucked, right? Because you don't know the truth. Now, or if you don't watch the show, that too, right? But let's go back over. Where did I put it? Grok, over here. So here's the thing I don't like from what I'm reading. Impact on current share price. So, or maybe it's up here. There's so much to this. Again, read it on your time. But it says, will effectively take control of ASST to go public, execute a plan to accumulate and hold Bitcoin, a core treasury asset. The merger received shareholder approval on the 9th, following Strive's approval on September 4th. It's at 92% right now. The S4 registration statement was declared effective by the SEC on August 25th upon closing imminently, subject to final conditions. The combined company will be renamed to Strive. Again, Vivek Ramaswamy is a part of this. And continue trading under the ASST ticker and NASDAQ. The strategy involving using innovative, tax-efficient methods to build a large Bitcoin war chest, targeting outperformance relative to Bitcoin's price while maximizing Bitcoin exposure per share. The merger has not happened yet. This is a classic reverse merger. ASST serves as the public shell, with Strive injecting operations and value, leading to significant dilution for existing ASST shareholders. What do they mean by significant dilution? Here's what they mean. Strive's membership interest in asset management sub will convert into shares of Class B common stock with high voting rights at an exchange ratio designed to give Strive 94.2% of ownership of the fully diluted post-merger equity. Existing ASST common shares, this merger has not happened yet, remain outstanding but are heavily diluted. No cash consideration is provided to ASST holders. They retain their shares in the combined entity. You will own 5.8% of the new entity. Why is this interesting? Strive Enterprises, 94.2% of the pro forma share total, fully diluted shares immediately after closing as converted. Existing shareholders of ASST get 5.8%. The pro forma share total excluded. And again, I could be missing things here, but I want to make you guys aware of this, okay? New incentive equity grants. So the pro forma share total, the 5.8% that the ASST people get, which is nothing, doesn't include shares that have been granted or equity that's been granted to directors, officers, or employees directed by Strive at closing. Shares issued in certain concurrent financings by ASST, not Strive. This exclusion is critical as it means the 94.2%, 5.8% split applies before potential additional dilution from post-closing equity issuance. So you're going to get less than 5% of this company, maybe, with your ASST holdings right now. You guys do you, okay? There's more to this. Read the whole post. I'm not going to do the rest of it, but read the whole post on your time. If you're a sub on X, you got it in front of you. But here's the gap between 640 and 1130. And again, if I'm missing something here, then I'm wrong, and I shouldn't have sold this up 85% or whatever it was on the day. I shouldn't have taken my $100,000 in gains, right? Because I could have made more. But I'm not willing to take that risk. And so could this be the top? Could we drop under this fib in real time? Could we end up closing this gap all the way back down here? Could we end up going lower as ASST shareholders realize that they're only getting 5% of the new company? I think so. I could be wrong. If I'm missing something, then I'm going to be wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong. I'm wrong a lot in life. This thing's up 95% on the day right now. I already missed out on another 10,000 in gains because I took the safe route. Again, sometimes I'm early. Maybe this thing goes up 150%. Overnight, it was up 150. Naka is breaking through numbers too. Why is Naka breaking through numbers? Because they're buying Metaplanet, of all fucking things. Cypher's going ham. Dude, we're going to see a lot of going ham across the board, I think. There's going to be a lot of money made. Let's get back over here and look at where things are sitting 7 minutes after market go live. So I'm sorry I had to take that segue, but anybody who owns ASST, I just wanted you to be aware of what I think is going on. Metaplanet up 20% today. Does anybody appreciate me calling the bottom yesterday? Gap closed. Gap closed. Let's adjust this. Now, again, it can drop, guys. It can drop, but the theme is the bottom is over. As long as CPI comes in good, guys, it's over. And again, I was early on treasuries. I get it. I get if people lost faith, especially if this is your first cycle and you don't know how fucking crazy the shit is going to get. I get it. I won't hold any malice towards you if you don't listen to me. There's going to be times I'm wrong. Nobody can be right all the time. Nobody. So I get it. All right, I don't think so. It's one of those you ride the ball maybe after the merger is finalized, and it's when the merger finalizes, it'll be too late to sell. it'll be too late to sell. And again, you guys do you. I did me. I'm happy. I made an extra $100,000 I didn't have yesterday. So, any chance Tom buys SBET? No, but his fund has recommended it. His fund, just like me, or I shouldn't say fund, FS Insight recommended buying SBET when it was way down at the bottom, just like I did. And then I made a bunch of money because it went up a shit ton. And then they got out. And I got out too, about 40% of my SBET. But then I bought Bitminer. That actually turned out all right. Bitminer didn't drop the way that SBET did. You were scared. I get it, dude. It's here's the thing. Emotions are a contrarian indicator or a contrary indicator of what you should be doing most of the time. It just is what it is, dude. But yeah, so my subs on X, you guys get to understand the truth, hopefully. And if anybody's wrong, tell me in the post. If I'm wrong about ASST, tell me. But I think you're getting good information that other people don't have because they're not doing the work. Could be wrong. I'm just going to post this real quick in the Discord, guys. If you guys have additional things you want to look at, I haven't been doing a lot of Did I get that posted? Oh, I didn't put everyone on it though. I should probably put everyone. Let me do that. That way everybody gets notified. I haven't been doing a lot of looking at charts and looking at additional investments. I'm going to be doing more of that. So if you guys like that stuff, we'll be doing more of it. Oracle up 35%. Wow. Yeah, their revenue went up by like 380%, guys. The AI bubble is just starting. Welcome to 1996, 1998. Welcome to 2006, 2005. Can we talk about SBET and BMR? Sure. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? BMNR's up today. SBET's down, but SBET did better than BMNR did yesterday. These started to go up, but again, Ethereum is lagging Solana. It's lagging Bitcoin. So I would argue that today is probably not going to be the best day for Ethereum treasuries, even though they can do all right because everything's kind of doing all right. But I think both of them are good bets. I'd put my money on Tom Lee instead. But again, SBET is 1/3 the market cap of BMNR. I give you guys my price targets. These charts, I update them all the time. I'm saving this right now. These are shared charts. If you guys go to my Discord, you can find these charts, all of them, and see what my targets are, right? You can see that I have, for the low, 135. This is if you're super conservative. The mid, 218% returns on BMNR. If you're still, I believe, moderately conservative, and then I believe that 391% is the peak. Your actual portfolio overview would be interesting. I haven't updated it, so it's kind of hard to do that. I can tell you where I've changed it, though. Let me look here real quick. So I have just sold ASST. I have sold out of Upexi. I use that to buy Solt, so that's on this list now too. I sold some SBET, put it into BMNR and ETH, so ETH is going to show up on here. Solt is going to go up higher. I'll try and get this updated this weekend. I will get it updated this weekend. Sequoian sucks, not because I've sold it, but just because I got into options and they kind of went to zero. I do think that one's going to turn around. Have your targets for SBET changed? Yeah, let's take a look. We can look at that too. So again, that's probably the big changes in the portfolio. I might buy some more Tesla today too. We'll see. I might get that up to 500,000. Have my targets changed? So for SBET right now, I think I'm being a little more conservative on these. I'm saying 257 to 453. Now there is still the off chance. This thing is a much smaller container. So there's the off chance that we reach irrational exuberance. And if we do that, it's probably going to be in this November time frame. And so maybe, I don't want to say 1,000% gain, but somewhere in between 460 and 1,000%. I do believe that's possible. This requires at least $10,000 Ethereum, though. Sequoians hurts. Yeah, it does, especially if you got options. Anthony Yeo, you mentioned MicroStrategy has less potential, but do you see a safer as a I see MetaPlanet as the safest treasury play. MicroStrategy is probably safe too. My only worry with MicroStrategy is that people don't bid this up because it's already run so hard. And historically, let me just go back here, guys. I want to show you something. The treasury play for MicroStrategy historically topped earlier. Now, this one admittedly was fucking crazy, right? So from the pandemic low of MicroStrategy, it was $9, and then it got to a price of $131. So admittedly, when they did their Bitcoin strategy, it went over here from about $12 to $131. It went up 1,000%. But what happened here? And this might be a one-time gig. It might not be a pattern that occurs this time. Bitcoin, 114,000. Awesome. But you can see how it topped, right? It topped in February of 2021. It was over 6 months later before we saw the top in Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying that's happened this time. It doesn't have to happen, but it could have happened. So it could have happened. And so maybe we just get up to 385. Maybe we get back up to here at 420, and then we roll over. I don't know that the risk to reward is worth it. Maybe we hit the high again. Maybe we go a little bit higher. Maybe we get all the way up here to, I think, what was some of the levels I was hearing, 700 for the guides. That's what analysts are projecting, official analysts. That's 100% return. Why wouldn't you be in BMR? Why wouldn't you be in MetaPlanet? Why wouldn't you be in SWC, where you can get hundreds, if not 1,000% return on your investment? I don't get it, personally. And I love strategy. I think strategy is going to be one of the things where when we do get a bear market, I'm gonna really be looking at strategies products a lot. Sequoians is possibly a multi-year hold at this point, possibly hold a full cycle. I own shares. Yeah, I bought options. I don't have that luxury. I got excited. I got irrationally exuberant too early and blew my load. But I could still make money off of that. It could still happen, which would be nice because I lost a ton. All right, let me go back here. Let's see. What else do you guys want to look at? Would moving Sequoians to SOLT be a good move? 1% to 1%? I don't know, dude. Sequoians could end up doing really, really well. But my move would be SOLT. My move would probably be SOLT. We do have this gap all the way. You get 133% just to close the daily gap. Pretty good guarantee that's happening. I guess I got to go up. We are actually getting to peak volumes now on Sequoians, guys. It's only up 1%, but this thing could start to rock too. People are going to dial up the risk curve. So I don't know what to say. I think maybe Sequoians over the short term has better potential. Maybe. It's kind of a coin flip, dude. Maybe think about what your allocation is to Solana versus Bitcoin and see if you can feel that. ASST's halted. Oh, it's down. It's only up 75% now, guys. It's only up 75 now. I hope you guys listen to me. I hope you guys listen to me. Yeah, I don't think this thing's going to last. So now I am better off for selling Sequoians than I would have been. Ethereum's at 4,400 and change now, guys. It's going higher. You're out. Good job, Travis. Good job, bro. Hopefully you got a better entry than exit than I did, dude. What did you get out at? What did you get out, bro? You sold too, Stoney? All right. I hope you guys made money, guys. I hope you guys did good. It could still go up, but I think the risk, guys, think about it. If you're getting 5%, then you're looking at 1/20th the holding of what the new company is. Doesn't that sound scary to you? Bella's Data, 90%, sold 90% of ASST. Thank you, Jesse. Doubled my money. Awesome, dude. Smell Shock, I'm letting 5 shares ride. Okay. Sold 2/3 at 1234. Okay, cool. Sold 80 to 90%. Good. Good, guys. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. You shouldn't listen to me. You can if you want to. It's up to you, though. You take responsibility for it. I sold at what I believe is a good number. And you guys probably did better than me because I let you guys know afterwards that there's danger, Will Robinson. And I think other people will figure that out, and it'll probably be too late. But I wish them the best. Hopefully it's not too late for them. Hopefully everybody that follows us is doing good. Metaplanet up 24% today. Again, it's painful on the way down, guys, but boy, when it takes off, does the world change or does it change? Does it happen quick? Yes, sir, it does. Smarter Web Company, how are we doing today? Where is Smarter Web? Oh, there we are. Smarter Web up 10% after being up 26% yesterday. Sitting up 111% since when? The 2nd. 8 days. 111% in a week, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, we're getting up near a pressure point here. You can see where volumes pick up. We could take a breather here. But this thing is going to be a rocket ship to the moon. You'll be hearing about 2x nav. You'll be hearing about 3x nav. Maybe you hear about fucking 5x nav as we go up potentially 284% higher than we are today. $50. Thank you, John. Thanks for the 100% return on ASST. You're welcome, brother. I hope I hope all you guys do good. I hope I'm providing value and insight to you. That is my goal. My goal is to enrich my family and my friends and the people I love and the people that are willing to listen to the truth. And sometimes it'll be uncomfortable and you won't like what I have to say. And that's okay. You don't have to agree with me on everything. We can still be friends here. You can be a liberal cuck, and I still love you. Because I was one too. So, can't have a lot of hate for people that represent me, right? ASST ask on Schwab is $15.95 now. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. They're not going to get that. CleanSpark, please, dude. Oh, yeah, let's look at others. Sorry. If you guys got more stocks, let's talk about them. CleanSpark up another 4%, guys. Over 10% in 24 hours. What the fuck? CleanSpark making a baby move. I do want to say this, though. Peak volume. Look at where we bounced, guys. I don't hate this, and I like the switch they're doing to HPC. I like it. So this is good. It's good that they're bouncing here. Mike, $20 for always showing up on the down days. Thanks, brother. I try to. I had my ball issue. That kind of kept me from doing stuff. But yeah, moving to HPC, I think, is a great narrative. I don't know if it actually matters, but I like that they're saying it. It's a great way to make their stock go up. Love to hear about Grab. I don't pay attention to Grab. I might start looking at things like that more, though. In the future, I might even drop down to 2 days a week, guys. It'll probably be after I get to $10 to $12 million. And then I might stop showing how much money I have in my portfolio because it just gets to the point where I don't even know that it's valuable to people. And I think if anything, it creates like weird inferiority complexes or hate. And I don't want that. I'm not here to gloat. I'm here to just show my performance. So I'll probably switch to percentages after I get to my 10 to 12 million this year. And I won't be showing how much money I make. I might every once in a while to people on here or to subs. But I'm not going to show it externally because I just don't. Yeah, just for subs. I don't want to be seen as a gloater. I don't want to be seen as somebody that somebody should rob and take advantage of. Just a lot of shit, right? Here, though, we can take a look at Grab. Let's just see what else is happening, though. So Metaplanet's only up, or no, that's Japan that was up 16%. I don't know what it's up in the U.S. Let's look at other stuff real quick here. And then I'll probably pull up OpenSea. So BM&R is up 6%. Holy shit. It's going up today, too. Cool. SBET's struggling, up 0.54, but again, it did better yesterday. Bella's Data, $5. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, Mara. Yeah, Mara. And Iron, guys. Let's look at Iron, too. All these miners are just taking off. All of them. The HPC plays win. Again, you don't ever want to be married to your concept of what is good. We're back above the 200 weekly moving average again. We're back above peak volumes. We did find that as a contested area. We look at it below, mostly kind of getting above, right? If we look at this price action, we look at it this way, guys. This is how you look at this price action. Did it find support? Fuck yeah, it did. So my targets have not changed. I believe this thing goes up 100 to 165%. And that would be really nice. Let's go over here and look at Iron. Iron, a juggernaut. Mike Alfred. I kind of hated Mike Alfred at times because we got in fights with each other and blocked each other, but now we're friends again. And I love the guy. I think he provides real value. I think he's a good person. Oh, I don't know if he's a good person. He could be a dick. That part could be true. I can't say he's a good person. I don't know him well enough to be able to say that. But I'm getting a little worried on Iron's valuation because we're just getting next to a technical level, right? And don't get me wrong, we could blow above it, but this is a technical resistance level that really started back in July of 2023. If we break above this, it's banana zone shit. We're already above the highest high. I think we could go to 44. I doubt. This thing is already an $8.64 billion. I don't know, maybe. I won't say I doubt. There's potential here to go to $80. But again, that's like a little more than doubling. Yeah, ASST has locked, Stubble. It is locked. They halted it. I don't know why they halted it. Maybe they halted it for an announcement, but they halted it. So that's kind of my thoughts on Iron. How dare you be happy and successful? I know, right? We should steal from everybody who's successful in life because if we just sit around and do nothing all day, that's enough. And we should take from those that we resent. That's the Communist Manifesto. Don't try and learn from them. Don't try and outwork them. Just take what they have. Circuit breaker. Oh, it was just a circuit breaker? That makes sense. If they get a deal like NBIS, it's going to 80. Yeah, true. Drops more than 10% or so in a certain time, it halts. I think it's more than that, but yeah. Oh, you're right. It made sense that it halted. Could it go higher after the halt? Oh, no, it's opened. It's only up 56% now. It's going down. Just like I fucking said. Just like I fucking said. Did I call it? Look at this. It hit the fib. It got above the fib. It broke down from the fib. That's where the candle body is. And now it's testing around here trying to figure out what it can do next. Could it still go up? Yes. It depends on how uneducated people are. It could go back up. People could volley this bitch. If for some reason this thing got to $17, you should be out. I don't think it's getting back above the fib again. I think people are they're gonna get smart and they're gonna realize this is massive dilution. I actually think ASST can close the gap over here. Or at least get to it. Maybe here, not close it, but maybe $1 a share. Maybe $1 a share. That's what I think. So again, but I hope people make a bunch of money off it. I could be wrong about the info that I've shared, but I don't think I am. And I got it from Grok, and I had it read the Performa and all the different, the S4 filing and all these things and come back with an answer. Because why not use AI to get an edge? Jesse equals balls of steel. Only 2 balls. 21% on Metaplanet, guys. This is good stuff. Actually, I'm going to redraw this bottom line because it looks like it's changed. This is what it looks like now. So sometimes your trend line changes. It tells you a new story. I think this is the new story for Metaplanet. Let me see. Wi-Fi flying also like Iron. Is Wi-Fi... Oh, which one is that? Is that the Trump one? Is that the Trump minor one? Help me out, guys. Which one's Wi-Fi? I should probably look at that. I don't even know if I looked at it. What will you buy today? I don't know. I got $200,000 to spend on stuff. I should buy something, right? I should buy something. What should I buy? I actually think I might just buy Tesla. I might just keep it simple. I don't know if I'll chase anything. Maybe I'll get SBET. I'll see if I can get SBET. Wi-Fi. Oh, that's the Bit Digital spinoff. Oh, yeah. Okay. And that just gives them extra wealth. Just like BMNR yesterday when they had their spinoff with Octo. I don't like the spinoff thing. I don't like Sam Altman. I don't like getting your retina scanned by that piece of shit. I just want to be real. Okay? Not anything I'm interested in at all. Real quick, I'm going to make a trade here. If you guys are willing to stick around, I'm going to make a trade here real quick. I got to figure out how to do a trade. This is in one of my other accounts that I hate. Can you take a look at BitDigital? Has like 75% of Wi-Fi ownership. 75%? Is that what you're saying? Or it's went up 75%. All right, I'm going to see if SBET... Oh, it is in here. All right. Let's see. How many shares do we want to buy? All right, I might do 5,000 shares of SBET today. Just for the fickety fuck of it. That one's down, right? Is that one down? I sold some the other day, but they're doing the right things now. It's only up 1.71. Let me see here. SBET. Warning, you're placing the same order. Oh, okay. It says that it's a total of... I'm buying $84,000 worth of SBET today. Success, your order has been received. Okay, cool. I just bought $84,000 in SBET. Now, I'm going to buy some Tesla, I think. Just because I want to stack on my Teslas, guys. I've got about... I should have close to $500,000 in Tesla after this purchase. So, let me see here. 3,000... 3,000 doesn't sound right. 300 shares? Is that right? Is that $100,000? Let me see here. Preview order. You have insufficient funds. Oh, did I buy SBET twice? No. Oh, I see. Insufficient funds. Okay. What about 290? Sorry, I'm almost done here. Trying. I have insufficient funds. Okay. Now I'm going to have to do a fucking calculator. God, I hate this shit. All right, let's see here. 1 second. Got to actually do math. Kind of blows. 347.96. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't do it that way. How much money do I have? I have 95,664 divided by 347.96. That doesn't seem right. Nope, I did something wrong. All right, 95,664, sorry, divided by 347.96. All right, okay. Sorry, I got to get the right number of shares so they get mad at me here. We're going to get 274 shares of Tesla, roughly $100,000. Just a hair underneath. All right, done, guys. We're proud owners of Tesla. Oh, Sony, thank you for the 20, bro. 20 SGD. What is SGD? For always being the most transparent and direct guy. You're welcome, sir. More transparent and direct than some people like. But whatever. I'm sitting on, I think I'm at about 3.3 million, guys, right now. 3.4 million in the portfolio. So it's not much different than last week. Or actually, it's probably more today. It's probably more today. Maybe 3.5. I'm probably up, actually. 3.5 million, 3.6 maybe. Singapore and dollar. Oh, you're from Singapore. All right, Stoney. Cool, man. Nice to know, bro. Let me switch this. This is today's, let's see. Where are things sitting? I'm going to refresh again to make sure that this is working. So yeah, I'm the proud owner of $500,000 in Tesla now. So I'm slowly inching into Tesla. I got almost another 100,000 in SBET. So I'm sitting at about 180,000 or 200,000 in SBET now. Mostly sitting in BM&R. Oh, wholesale inventories came up. Let's see what happened there. Let's see if there's anything interesting.
David
Zervos. David Zervos is coming up. We're going to listen to him too. Fuck it. I'm going to stick around a bit today, guys.
With the case for a jumbo cut. Yes, he is now calling for 75 basis points in next week's Fed meeting.
Jumbo. Meantime, PPI was a big story, but we're getting some inventories. Let's get back to Rick Santelli.
Hey, Anthony. Anthony's from Singapore too.
Yes, indeed.
Holy shit, guys. Ethereum is up 4,430 now. Solana's at 225. Bitcoin's at 114.
Yeah, it was a big story, all right, Carl. The monthly numbers turning negative first time since April. Wholesale inventories and trade sales. These are coming out July final on inventories. It moves from 0.2 to up 0.1. from the mid-month read. But on trade sales, this is a fresh July number, Carl, and it is a biggie. We're expecting up 0.2, up 1.4%.
Good.
That is the best since February when it was 2%, and it's the second best number of the year. And there's a positive revision in the rearview mirror from up 0.3 to more than doubling it to up 0.7. It is a good thing. We all know that there has been tariff-related issues regarding inventories. To see the sales whittling that down is a good thing. And interest rates, well, Sarah nailed it. 4% is what everybody's paying attention to. It's basically the low yield close of all of 2025. It may be a tough road to get there, especially on a closing basis due to all the debt and deficit issues. Remember, supply. Today we have 10-year, tomorrow we have 30-year. We'll pay very close attention to both of those auctions at 1 o'clock Eastern. Sarah, back to you.
Okay, yes, we'll be looking for you for those auction results. Thank you, Rick Santelli. Let's touch on what we got this morning, the inflation report. So this is wholesale inflation, PPI. We'll get a better look at what the consumer's paying tomorrow. But this is a wow number.
Yeah, it's a wow number. Go with the mid to Singapore in July. That sounds insane and fun. If he would have me, I would do it. If I received an invite from a MIT, I would pay and do that. That sounds like a good time. And maybe I'll just follow him there. I've never met him in real life. Want to see if I'm taller than him. I'm not very tall myself. Ugh. Dude, stop by in Taiwan. Taiwan I would stop by in, but as much as the CCP probably hates me, no, I'm kidding. I don't want them to invade. No, I'm kidding. Daniel Lee, Jesse, have you been to I've never been to Asia. I want to go so bad. My wife's been to Japan. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Southeast Asia pretty bad. I actually want to go to China, man. I love Chinese people. I love China. I just want them to be free, and I don't want to get in prison for the rest of my life because I went there. Jesse, time for TLT. Your thoughts? I think TLT is going to be a really good cash play. Real quickly, I can pull it up here. I'm going to keep an eye out here, guys, for Zervos. But TLT, again, it's just kind of grinding here. It's been doing this really, look at this. This thing's down 50% still from its highest level ever in history from March of 2020. And over that period of time, from November of 2018, so a little over 2 years, right? A little over 2 years, 2.5 years, we saw TLT go from 112 to 179. It saw a 60% increase. What happens to TLT when American exceptionalism is confirmed? Trump has embraced Bitcoin and we got a strategic reserve. We're the head of the AI industry. We're the heads of the robotic industry because believe me, China is not winning. They might have a lot of robots, a lot more than here. They might have more manufacturing capacity. They are not winning the robot wars because their robots do not have brains. Okay? Important thing. It's like being the straw man, right? Like you want to have a brain. Anybody know that? Anybody ever watch The Wizard of Oz? If you don't have a brain, you're pretty stupid. You get one and you get a lot better. If you come to Japan, I'll show you around. That'd be awesome. Again, my wife wants to go there. My daughter, she was big into Korean pop. I don't know if that's as big of a thing anymore for her. Did Sequoians have news? It's up 8.5%. Here's the news, guys. Nobody gives a fuck and everybody's buying everything. Welcome to the news. RS, hey Jesse, would you split your MetaPlanet and SWC allocation today if you had $100K to invest now? What do you mean? What is it in right now? Oh, you mean just buy both of those? I think they're both a really good deal. I hate buying them. Here's what I hate. I hate buying MetaPlanet up 21% on the day. I would hate buying Smarter Web 100% up on the week. But I don't know if it's going to get worse. If CPI is worse tomorrow, then that might be a really good entry point. But you guys should have been buying over the last week. You should have been buying yesterday. Should have been buying the day before that. Should have been buying the end of last week. We could start an Asian Jesse fan club. That sounds fun. I love you guys. I'd love to meet a bunch of you guys in person. Yeah, I'd love that. I would love that. Let's get over here, though, real quick and see if we got Cloud9 talking. We've got Fox Business. We don't have too much going on there right now either. If you guys have other stocks you want to pull up, Thailand would be fun, too. Hey, Jesse, how would you... Oh, no, that was that. If you go to Singapore with a mid, it would be epic if you did a live broadcast there. I'd love to. I'm a little controversial, though. I don't know if a mid is very, like... he's a master debater. I always say that because I just want to say it. Master debater. Just you got to pronounce the D, otherwise it sounds bad. But he actually, when he was younger, he was like that. I don't remember if it was in high school or college or what. I don't remember. But he is somebody who tries to be very eloquent, watch his words, not get too political. We're kind of different people, right? I'm very honest. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I tell you, I share everything. Amit's a pretty big share though too. So I don't know. I love Amit. I think he's a great person. I just don't know if I'm the kind of person he would want to be involved with. Maybe I'm wrong. Thanks, Jesse. Count me in for the Asian fan club. Awesome. Thanks, RS. Host an event like Amit did, and I'll be there. Cool, man. Thanks, Echo. Maybe someday. If we get to the 10, 12 million, I'm probably going to do a lot of traveling, and I need to make sure I don't get robbed. But outside of that, I definitely want to meet a bunch of you guys and have a big meetup somewhere. Maybe a couple of them across the country. Maybe across the world, too. ArcG, please. Ooh, good one, BGZ. I don't know how we're doing with that one today. There's a lot of headwinds for ArcG right now, but I think those are going to get better. Here's the headwinds, okay? My buddy, Peter Diamandis, was talking about this with his crew, his AI crew. I haven't seen their latest video. I think I'm going to go on a hike today and watch it. But here's the thing about ArcG. I don't think it's ready to blow up yet, but I do think I'm maybe even looking to options in 2027. I already have ones that go out as far as December of 2026. So I've got about 16 months of performance for just this thing to double, and I can make a 10, 15x my money. But I might push some of that shit out to 2027 because what's happening right now is academia is starving for investment dollars because they did some woke bullshit. And because of that, they're getting punished by the president. And so places like Harvard and other places have just seen their funding deteriorate. This is causing a lot of problems in the genomic space and all the stuff that tie in with futurism and health. So this could still be an underperformer for the remainder of the year. I might lose all the money I had in my options for January 2026. All I need it to do is go up 80%, and I probably make a bunch of money. Or at least make my money back. But if it doesn't do that, there's always June of 2026, December of 2026, and soon probably the middle of 2027 or into 2027. ASST was halted again. Wow. And it's only up 70% on the day. So if you exited when I mentioned exiting, you're doing better than everybody else, guys. So, but ArcG, I think, is going to be one of the biggest benefactors of artificial intelligence. Elon has already told us that we're going to be learning new math and new physics by next year. Early next year. Beginning of next year, we'll start to learn new math and new physics. Do you know what that means? Do you understand the gravity of that? So I think a mean reversion to up here, a 50% gain is easy. I think getting up to 48 can happen too. I think in the next 2 years, it's going to be, this thing could go up hundreds of percent and I could make thousands of percent in gains. Shoving money into TLT, if TLT hasn't bounced well, by the time I get to my 10, 12 million plus, I will be buying TLT options contracts probably for several years out, and I will be buying more ArcG. And I'll get ARGT too because I still believe in Argentina. Argentina, the other day, guys, this thing dropped hard. I bought that dip. Now it's going up. I think this is a trade channel. You could look at this as a rising broadening wedge, but I'm going to say it's not, okay? I'm going to say this is a trade channel, and that we're going to be going through this, and that you could still see 104 or something like that. This pays dividends. Let's look at what Argentina has done. It gets these routine 25% drops, and then it goes straight up. Argentina, again, there's a lot still to happen in this country. And we've got years until Javier Milei needs to worry about re-election. He has to worry about midterms. That's coming up before the end of this year. But this thing went from $23 to $95. I think it's a real safe cash play. It pays a dividend. The dividend is yielding 1.4%. I think if Argentina really does well, this entire fund has an AUM of less than $1 billion. What happens if Argentina becomes the United States of South America? I'm excited about Argentina. I'm excited about countries that embrace freedom. And I will contribute money to this fund, and I'll look at it as a cash position. Hey, Jesse, could you look at Bit Digital? A bunch of you guys have asked for that. Let's do it. And we'll do more stuff like this in the future, guys, especially if I end up dropping down to 2 days, or I might even go to 1 day a week, guys. If that happens, I'll have to figure out what day works best for everyone. Maybe I'll do a Friday show or something so that people can catch up on the weekend. Maybe I'll do something like that, or maybe I'll do a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning so that people kind of can pick their time to look at it. So Bit Digital is doing well. Again, they've got this Wi-Fi investment. I don't know a lot about the fundamentals. If you know a lot about fundamentals, guys, throw them in chat. He lost an election in Buenos Aires where I believe they still picked up 2 seats, but his party did worse than another party that was socialist. And that's in Buenos Aires. But the actual fundamentals of what he's doing, he doesn't have to worry about actually getting the boot for 2.5 years, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong, guys. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has to worry about getting the boot for 2.5 years. And if that's the case, he has plenty of time to continue doing what he's doing, which is making it great. I know that the writer of the Bitcoin Standard, Mr. Amus, he hates Javier Milei in Argentina because, can I unblock you? Yeah. What was your handle? I block people if they're pessimistic or talk shit. So if I thought you were doing that, I might have blocked you. But you give me your handle on X and I'll unblock you. But Mr. Amus, who wrote the Bitcoin Standard, I think he hates Jews because he's not a Jew. He's the exact opposite of a Jew. He's from the Middle East. And he blocked me after October 7th when I was supporting Israel. So I think he's a Jew hater. And Javier Milei likes the Jews. And so I think that Mr. Amus, even though he wrote a great book, I love the Bitcoin Standard. I think he did a great job. I think he just hates Jews, and I think he hates the United States. And I think that he's got an artificial bias towards us doing bad. So measure people for what you believe they're worth. Now, a quick look here. I don't know what we're going to do on this. Bit Digital could go way higher. I don't know the fundamentals, so it's hard to speak of. It's not even $1 billion market cap. If the fundamentals are really, really good, this thing could scream. Maybe you get to 478. Maybe you hit the previous high of 570. Maybe you do a parabolic launch to 8. It could get hundreds of %. I don't like the miners as much, though, guys. Passing by to say hi. The tides are turning. Thank you, Matt Nintendo. LD, what was your handle? I don't see your handle, buddy. You got to give me your handle. Is it LD10? Here, I'll just take a look. I'll see if I can find you. LD10. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Is this you? We'll say it's you. All right. I'll even follow you. Just be nice. If that's not you, please let me know. Because I just unblocked somebody else. Details are as follows. Who is this? Oh, Asset Entities is only up 57% now. Congrats to Micro to Macro reaching 100,000 followers. Thank you, bro. I love Vincent. Vincent's a good dude. My Asian brother from another mother. Details are as follows. Show more. WhatsApp. Fuck that guy. Fuck this guy. Block. All right. What else we got? I grabbed Bit Digital options last week and speculation that Alfred. Oh yeah, Mike Alfred was talking about joining a board. Gosh, if he did that, that thing's gonna go through the fucking roof. If you're Tom Lee and you're doing something, it's going to go through the roof. If you're Mike Alford, it's probably going to do fucking great too. If you're Josh Mandel, I don't know. He lost some street cred with his, we're definitely getting included in the S&P thing. I don't know why he said that. That was weird. Let's see what else. Thank you. Sorry, YouTube was blocking me from posting the handle. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you should be unblocked, dude. And I'm sorry if I blocked you. I don't know why I blocked you. Sometimes I'm just rushing through this, and I end up blocking people that I don't want to block. Sometimes if I don't like a comment and I just hide the comment, it defaults to the next button being block. So if I clicked wrong, then I block you, and I can't even find you because if you go to the block list, it's like, who the fuck did I just block? Bye. So I apologize if that happened too. Guys, if you can comment, please comment, like, and share to help the channel. In the above post, you guys got to get the right post, the top one. I blocked you. What's yours, Sam? Tell me what your handle is and I'll fix it. Don't put the handle, though, because it won't let you put a handle in. So just put what comes after the handle, and I'll fix you. If anybody else needs to be unblocked, now is your time. I'll unblock you. All right. Yeah, things are still sitting good. We might retrace a little bit. Again, people I think are going to get worried about CPI tomorrow. So some of our gains today could be short-lived, and maybe they come back to earth. Just think about that, okay? I'm going to pull over the God view. Oh, let me see here. We're going to move it in a little bit. This is the God view. This shows me, we got Joe Bhakti over here talking. So this shows me the homepage and what it thinks I might want to see, and then it also shows me the handles of the things I like to follow. Maybe you can unblock Lena. Is it just Lena? Oh, fuck Lena. Are you talking about that one bitch? Nope. No unblocking for her. Sam, what was your... I'm going to look up No Whack. We'll look up No Whack, maybe. See if you're in there. No Whack. Nice name. Is that you? Are you a Mike Nowak? Are you a Paul Nowak? See, dude, you got to tell me. Yeah, this guy's protected. Give me your handle, people. Don't put the handle in there. Just put what it is. Don't put the @ symbol. Just put what it is, and then I'll unblock you. Sam Nowak. Is this you, Uncle Sam? Are you blocked? No, I don't know what this guy's doing. Fucking Lena. Haha, Riot. You want to see Riot? Are they all doing good? I don't even know what they're all doing. Ah, there we go. Thank you. I might end the thing here soon, but I wanted to get you. Slawek 1. All right, let me see. Is that you? Real estate out of Chicago. All right, sorry, dude. Here, I'll follow you even. Apologize. Anybody else? Outside of Lena. Anybody else? All right, guys. I think I've done all I can do today. ASST holders, you had your opportunity to sell. And I hope you guys are wise and you took it. Look at this. It totally rejected it, that fib, guys. And I'm taking my targets off of here because I believe my targets are to the downside now. So we're going to reverse it, actually. And we're going to point it down here. Here's how much I believe you can lose. 90%. That's what I believe you can lose. That's probably the right math. Oh, is that another guy? Mr. Nutsaggins? Did I block Mr. Nutsaggins? Okay. All right. It's a cool name. Mr. Nutsaggins. You guys are amazing. Go to Mr. Nutsaggins. Oh, wait. No, I don't got you guys. Do I have to type it with the caps and all that shit? Maybe I do. Mr. Nut. Are you just fucking with me? Are you fucking with me, bro? Daniel, are you fucking with me, bro? Seriously. Don't waste my time. Is anyone still buying Cypher and Iron here? He's fucking with you. I think he is. You guys are fucking assholes. But I love you. All right, let's look over here. Thanks for ASST. You're welcome. All right, guys. I think I'm going to bail. Again, if you guys could comment and like the stream, it's always nice. Again, it doesn't take, we had over 1,000 people here. It doesn't take long to click a like, to share something, and to make a comment. So you guys could do that. I'd greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I hope you had a good day. I hope you doubled your money if you were in ASST. And I hope you GTFO so that you can keep it. I will see you guys on Friday. Peace out, okay? Oh, wait. I got a special for you. I'm going to play a video here. I do have a good one. Today. Let me see here. I'm going to go to my YouTube intros. For anybody who would like to see a little humor about the Hamas people that were blown up yesterday, here you go. Peace out.
Shukran and God bless you.
Cannot believe what we have brought on Gaza. Thank Allah that we are safe in Doha Plaza. Have nothing left to eat like a Ramadan retreat. I don't really give a shit, cause I'm hanging in my suite. Check out, we are dealing here with monsters. The room service wouldn't bring us lobsters. Call Maya Khalifa to play with us some FIFA. And tell her to dress up like she is a nurse in chief. Dollar bills, dollar bills. My people have no water, wonder how it feels. Dollar bills, dollar bills. They have no gasoline, I just wonder when you will donate us money, my dog needs new Armani. Cause the sky is black, but Qatar is always sunny. Knocking on the door, fuck it's the Mossad. Chill ya baba, I just ordered sushi avocado. Dollar bills, Mashal is so straight, he just got himself new grills. Dollar bills, put some Netflix on, I don't want to see the kills. Us money, my dog needs new Armani. Cause the sky is black, but Qatar is always sunny. You just gave me money, life is pretty funny. Cause the sky is black, but Qatar is always sunny.
Cry harder. We need more money.
People of the world.
Bye, guys. Love you.